check. We like to be rock stars, but this is what we get. It's all about the racing. It's everything we know. Put down the throttle, baby. Welcome to the show. Race day rock. Drive it like a guitar. Race day rock. Fire in the hole. Race day rock. This is how we do it. This is how we rock. This is how we roll. Race day rock. Do it like a guitar. Race day rock. There's fire in the hole. Race day rock. This is how we do it. This is how we rock. This is how we roll. Race day rock. Race day rock. This is how we rock. This is how we roll. Chevy on the left, panel Ford on the right. Daddy's in a Dodge and his Dodge is just a little tight. Well, we're three abreast, going into one. If you loosen me up, boys, we're gonna get her done. It's Saturday night and it's a short track racing. It's Saturday night and it's a short track racing. They turn up the lights when the sun goes down. Short track maniacs, gas pedals to the ground. Well, I'm on the hunt, coming out of Ford. Those are 700 horses, baby, knocking on your door. It's Saturday night and it's a short track racing. It's Saturday night and we're a short track racing. Pull the belts tight and lay it on the line. Gotta love the fence, kid, stars in their eyes. Put her in the show and bring her back alive. It's Saturday night and it's a short track racing. It's Saturday night and we're a short track racing. Dogs in the grandstand and cooking on the grill. Weekend speed warriors looking for the kill. Hard in the wall is what you're gonna be, 'cause you're playing with fire if you wanna play with me. It's Saturday night and it's a short track racing. It's Saturday night and we're a short track racing. It's Saturday night and we're a short track racing. It's Saturday night and we're a short track racing.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? This motorsport special event starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Welcome along to the Madeira Speedway live stream, brought to you by our partners at Mission Foods. Also, not up to the supporters of our and Victory Lane reporter Jason Galvin joining me in the booth for this Bandler Mini Cup race.
Outback, how are you?
I'm doing great, sir. Doing great. It's a nice warm day, not overly warm, so it's comfortable conditions, some nice breeze here at Madeira, so that's cooling things down.
It's like Australian comfortable or Californian comfortable?
It's just California comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's California comfortable.
I tell you what's nice Outback is there's like bluish skies.
Well, the sun has poked through in the last couple of days. We didn't see the sun for a couple of weeks. It was like Armageddon here in
Right.
California.
Sadly.
But destroyed it last part of our summer. Tried to spring in the fall and it's getting like rained on or like snow falling on you and it's ash, which is not really cool. So it's a couple of weeks of our summer, but other than that, we're ready to go racing here at Madeira with our Bandolera Mini Cup cars. Jason Galvin and myself to take you through the event. A little short on our Bandolera Mini Cups, but I tell you what, race sense, we have a awesome night of pro late models and junior late models, and we are round number 7 of 9. Now, things are going to be a little bit different this year. We're going to be doing 10,000 to win next race, and then we run a race after. Normally the 10,000 to win is a race that is at the end of the season, and this particular race would normally be race number 8 of 9, and that's a very, very important race. So tonight it's going to be important. Then if you're in the points battle and you normally just go all out for the 10,000, or you try and protect your points. So next week you have a decision to make whether you're kind of going to throw the points out the window for a day, or you're just going to do a combination of both, or just go point racing, because you have one more round coming up after the 10,000 to win. So different circumstances. 2020, Jason Galvin has thrown us many, many curveballs, and that is another one.
Has it been an unusual year?
It has been different, very different, yeah.
Just wanted to clarify. I've tried to forget that 2020 happened. So.
Yeah, well, it's been a different kind of a year.
One way to put it, for sure. Hey, why don't we take you through the starting lineup here? Mini Cups and Bandoleros. And I want to confirm, because I thought I heard Race Control talking about changing the lap count on this. Kenny Shepard, are we going 25 or 30 here? 25 laps for the Mini Cups and Bandos tonight here Outback. Caden Cordova will start on the front row alongside of undefeated in the Bandoleros, Jeffrey Erickson.
Yeah, row number 2, Joey Keneally, and Rebecca Doobie, who is, almost unbeaten. She's only lost one round.
And Rebecca Doobie, she'll win the Mini Cup feature the second she takes the green flag tonight, because she's the only Mini Cup here. Harley Keneally is here, and I don't know what happened, but at some point we lost that race car, and so her brother Joey out there, I actually saw Harley down belting Joey into his Bandolero. So that's a little unfortunate for both Harley and for Rebecca Doobie, who I'm sure will be happy to win, but not under these circumstances necessarily, as starter Frank throws the green flag. And boy, Jeffrey Erickson, he slid right in there behind Caden Cordova, and they almost made contact down into 1 and 2.
Yes, as we come out of 51-50 turn, it's all Caden Cordova, but our unbeaten racer, Jeffrey Erickson, is charging hard here. Jeffrey Erickson, like we said, unbeaten. Can he go through the full season in that fashion? Time will tell. We got 25 laps to get this done tonight, Jason.
And already Jeffrey Erickson trying to make a move for the lead into turn 3, and Caden Cordova shut the door and they make contact. Cordova is around, caution flag flies, and nobody will hit anything as Erickson and Cordova tangle here on lap number 2.
Yep, lap number 2.
Caden Cordova, the young man out of Bakersfield, in the DJ Safety number 37 car. And Jeffrey Erickson, of course, with brother Bradley, who's the point leader in the 5150 Junior Late Models, and they are out of Arizona, Outback.
Yes. Hey, I tell you what, we got a few people joining us online here
Do
too,
we?
Jason Galvin. Yes, we do. Already, we've got people jumped in early. People getting ready for our Junior Late Models, which is coming up real soon. And I'd like to welcome Sterling Baker, Al Kennedy, Zachary Miller, Dirty Hands Clean Money, Shelley Smith, Danny Webster, yeah, Charlotte Lander, Sheila Brown, Dave Pereira. Hey, good to see you, Dave.
Hey,
Online
I know
there.
Dave Pereira.
Yes, we know Dave Pereira. Darren Tapp. Just want to thank you for letting us do this. Well, yes, we enjoy bringing this to you every Saturday night. We'll be back next Saturday night with another short track.
Who's we?
Short track. It'll be me, yourself, and
You.
Kenny
You will be
Shepard.
back, yes.
Yes, it will. It'll be myself.
I thought
and
maybe you were
Kenny
inviting me. I was like, whoa.
Well, mate, I'm not. You'd have to ask Kenny Shepard.
Hey, we're coming back to the green here, Outback. Joey Keneally gets to lead us back because of that spin. And Jeffrey Erickson is using the good old Talladega bump draft down into turn 1.
Yeah, this is getting interesting. Erickson now slips past Cordova very, very quickly. We'll see if Cordova comes back at that 23 car. But Keneally doing a great job up front, pushes way up the racetrack, may lose 2 spots here as current points leader Jeffrey Erickson kind of drives away by about 3 or 4 car lengths.
That
here.
23 car has just been so much better than everybody else in this class this year. There's really been no competition. I mean, we've seen Caden Cordova get out in front a couple times, and usually Jeffrey Erickson makes quick work of him. Nathaniel Edwards, when he's here, has led a couple laps. Remember, early in the year, we had Wyatt Sansom before he moved up into the Legend car full-time, and Wyatt would get these crazy restarts and jump out in front, and then Jeffrey Erickson would just blow right back by him after a couple laps. And that 23 car, once again, looks to be the class of the field. Although Caden Cordova is not losing ground at this point. The problem is that he's already lost ground. So simply staying pace won't do Caden any good. As you watch that 37 car, boy, you see how much he had to fight it through turns 3 and 4 there as well.
Yeah,
Car had a big wobble, and you can see the front end start kind of what we call Outback, chasing it up the track.
Yep. Body panels flip around on that car. That car's getting a little bit of a rough ride. I tell you what, Jason Galvin, Bradley Erickson, better hope that they don't move Jeffrey Erickson up too quickly to the Junior Late Models, because I tell you what,
he's
Jeffrey
already clamoring
Erickson
for it.
Yep, Jeffrey Erickson
clamoring.
is a talent, and he's certainly going to take it up to older brother
Well,
Bradley.
here's a proposal for you, Outback. Why don't we just move Bradley into the pros next year, and Jeffrey can move up into the juniors?
Well, it'll be nice to see them race each other for one season.
Oh, I guess I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe we let him do it for like a race or two. How about that?
That is possible. Look at these guys, Cordova and Erickson car. You see that car, just the way it is handling Jason Galvin. That car is, they certainly have got the setup on that 23
It's
car.
so impressive because all year you look at the line that he runs in every corner, right down to the white line, but never has to touch it, never has to get down on the rumbles, perfect arc up out of the corner. The car never looks unhappy. It's just a pretty race car as far as the geometry on it goes. That's the type of race car that when you sit up here and you're somebody who has driving experience like we both do out back, we look at that and we think to ourselves, like, that looks like a fun race car to drive. Like, that's the type of car I want to drive. Right,
it does look a fun car to drive too, and it's obviously been fun for young Jeffrey because he's unbeaten and is probably going to stay that way after today, unless Cordova can pull a rabbit out of a hat here. I don't think he's going to catch
Caden's
that 23.
around.
Yeah, Caden has gone around. Yellow's come out. All on his own. Single car spin for Caden Cordova. Yeah, so it's great to see our people online on our YouTube.
Outback, your tablet's struggling over there.
Yes, my tablet's having some issues with some reception. Reception is absolutely terrible here at Madeira. So we struggle with reception on our cell phones, on our tablets, and yes, my provider is very close at the moment to getting the old boot out the door.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not happy with my
Do we want
phone
to
provider.
Do we want to disclose who your provider is?
Well, we don't have any phone providers.
How many? I was going to ask how many letters are in your phone provider's name? Then
Well, the first word is a single letter.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
so they might have been too busy buying other companies. That might be why.
Yeah. Probably buying that other company that's like
That's
a name of a type of a race car that's mostly got a wing on it.
right.
Yes,
Yeah, that
yes.
happens to be my provider.
Yeah.
Which-
Which is now owned by my
I would say which
provider.
I've had no issues with, but if it swings in the Outback direction, then we might be making a switch as well. So who knows?
It's been very frustrating the last few weeks with this phone provider.
There's 10 laps down, which means there's 15 to go. As we get ready to come back to the green flag here. Jeffrey Erickson, Joey Keneally on the front row with Caden Cordova tucked right up there. And Flagman Frank throws the green.
So if you're out there on the live stream and you have a particular phone provider that you're using, let me know if it's better than the one I'm using. So
Well, we need context, Outback. Like, where do you live?
Yes.
Is there shoddy cell
Yeah.
reception for
do you
everybody?
do you use it and
Right.
rely on it for things like ride sharing and using your phone to make a living with? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do-
Okay, look at this battle up front that has skipped away, but Keneally is hanging a little bit with Cordova there.
I was
He's
just going
a
to
couple
say
of
that.
car
Yeah,
lengths back.
this time Joey's done a much better job staying with the 37 car. Joey's sister Harley is the only other driver to win a mini cup race this year aside from Rebecca Doobie.
Well, we haven't talked about Rebecca very much because Rebecca's been running her own mini cup race and just putting in nice clean laps. Doesn't want to do anything, that's going to upset the car. Just drive it. You just drive it home. Just do log laps.
She's
log
indeed
laps.
the only mini cup in the race
Yeah.
tonight. So
She can just
I
log
can't
laps.
exactly imagine that she's in a hurry to get up anywhere close to the Bandoleros.
No, she can just log laps and
That's a
log
bummer.
laps.
We're going to have to find out what
Yeah.
happened to Harley Keneally because that
So
car.
there's Rebecca on screen
Yeah,
right now.
there it
Rebecca
is.
can log laps and put a fairly sizable nail in the championship coffin.
Yes, indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harley's really come on strong of late. She won a couple rounds
Yep.
ago. The last round, remember, she was the leader until a restart with about 3 laps to go, and Rebecca was able to get back around Harley. So that's unfortunate because the Keneallys had really done a nice job tuning up that number 2 car to where it could run with Rebecca Doobie. Remember, Outback the first 3 or 4 races this year, Rebecca Doobie looked a lot like Jeffrey Erickson.
Yeah,
we were
ran
all
away
thinking
with
to
it.
ourselves, like,
Yeah.
is anybody going to run with her all year? But then the Keneallys kept tuning
Yep.
away and tuning away, and Harley came on
Harley
strong.
stepped it up, and yes, it was a good deal. Tell you what,
Caden Cordova's
Caden Cordova's-
starting to close the gap.
yes, he's just hanging in there in this race. This is not too bad. Like you say, the handling, you can see the handling. That car stumbled out of turn 2 then. Didn't really get the run out of the turn like he wanted.
I think the big difference, Outback, when you watch Jeffrey Erickson versus Caden Cordova, is it is abundantly clear that Jeffrey Erickson is not having to push his race car to run the lap times he's running.
Yep.
And while Caden Cordova is kind of reeling in Jeffrey, and then he loses it, he'll gain a little bit, and 3 or 4 corners later he'll lose it. And I think the reason for that is because he is having to drive the wheels off of that car to try to run down the 23.
Yeah, he's like at 105%, where Jeffrey Erickson's probably sitting around 90% and just enjoying the ride.
And that's not a knock on Caden Cordova.
No.
I mean, nobody this year has been able to come into Madeira Speedway and even be in the same league as the 23 car so far this year. So kudos to Caden, who is still learning here in his first year in this class here at Madeira Speedway, trying to catch Jeffrey Erickson, learn what he can from Jeffrey Erickson, keep improving with that 37 car. Of course, it comes out of Bakersfield, and there's been so many just historically good bandoleros that have come out of the Bakersfield area, and Kersey Young and Riley Massey. I mean,
Seth Wise.
the list goes on. And so Caden would like to certainly be the next in the list of drivers to come out of the Kern County area in the Bandolero class and try to dominate here at Madera. And if you can learn a little bit more and never know by the end of the year. I mean, the way he's hanging with Jeffrey Erickson right now, this is the best run Caden's had all year.
Yeah, I kind of wonder at times. I see Jeffrey Erickson, that gap, Constantine is out. And you kind of wonder if Jeffrey just doesn't back off a little bit, draw him up, and then see how quick he can drive away. White flag is being displayed. One more lap of Madera Speedway for our unbeaten racer. Will he make it to the line and continue his unbeaten record here at Madera Speedway? We will see as we get to the line, Jason Galvin.
Jeffrey Erickson comes off of turn 4, and indeed, the 23 car is 7 for 7 in Bandolero races here in the 2020 season. Caden Cordova second. Joey Keneally comes home in third. And here comes Rebecca Doobie off of turn 4, and there she flashes under the flag stand. And a quiet race for Rebecca, and I'm sure she'll be just fine with that as she takes the win in the Mini Cup portion and will, as you said, Outback, just about put a nail on the championship race with that car as well.
Yeah, going down. Jason Galvin will make his way down to Victory Lane, I guess, and talk to some happy drivers down there.
Indeed. Unless you want to go down?
No, I'll let you do it yourself, sir.
All right, we're on our way.
Well, for those online, Jeffrey Erickson, the question is 2 more races. Can he go through unbeaten? We have never had, in our TV series on MAV TV, we've never had anyone that has gone through the season unbeaten. And I'd have to ask our race control and our timing people whether anybody has actually gone through a championship season of 9 rounds at Madera Speedway unbeaten. That is quite a feat for young Jeffrey Erickson as he climbs from the race car. That is a very, very happy Jeffrey Erickson. He will head down and talk to the other competitors and congratulate them on their race. We'll take a quick commercial break, pay some bills so we can continue to bring these live streams free to you, courtesy of Nut Up, 5150, and of course, Mission Foods.
Since 1977, Mission Foods has been creating fresh and authentic Mexican food products. Put some Mission in your kitchen, race fans. As we like to say here at the Madera Speedway, support the brands that support our sport. I'm Kenny Shepard here on Madera Racing on MAV TV, and we would like to welcome Mission Foods on board here on the Madera Racing program. Too fast, too tasty. Make sure Mission is the choice you make the next time you're at the store.
Outback Andy, it's race time here at Madera.
Yes, it is.
Race fans, please support the brands that support our sport. Nut Up Industries and NutUp.com is the primary sponsor of these free live streams for our fans to enjoy. Please go to NutUp.com and enter the code MAVTV20 for a 20% discount on all of their great, healthy almond snacks. Please visit NutUp.com and support the brands that support our sport by entering MAVTV20 for a 20% discount to say thank you for this free live stream tonight.
Through the Race to Be Drug Free campaign, we raise awareness about the harmful effects of drugs. We educate children both inside and outside of schools about staying off of drugs and out of trouble. We also have our Gloves Not Drugs boxing program, which allows kids between the ages of 8 and 18 to come learn the art of boxing and also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
They've taught me to become a role model to everyone else. Watch what I do when no one else is looking, do the right thing all the time.
It's been amazing. I really love the program. My favorite part is working with my team, my coaches. They made me who I am.
The program really motivates them to become a better person.
I've gotten better in school, more disciplined, and I've gotten better grades since I started this program.
Your teammates, they're not only your teammates, your family,
Kids who could potentially be doing something bad with their lives, and they can turn it into something good and positive.
Thank you for this sport, and it helped me a lot.
Welcome back to our Madeira Speedway live stream on the YouTube, Short Track TV. We're going to go down here very soon to Victory Lane, and Stephen Blakeslee will start to join me in the booth. 7-time winner for 2020. Only 2 more races for the year to go for this young driver, Jeffrey Erickson, to see if he can go unbeaten. We believe nobody may have ever won a championship here at Madeira unbeaten. Down in Victory Lane is our good friend and our booth partner at times, Jason Galvin, with a very, very happy Jeffrey Erickson.
The undefeated streak continues here in the 2020 season for young Jeffrey Erickson. Jeffrey, another great win for you here tonight. This race, though, was not without a little bit of drama for you. You had that early incident with Caden, and then I don't know how aware of it you were, but the last 10 laps or so, the 37 car was starting to reel you in.
Yeah, the 37, began to got a lot closer up to me, and he's doing really good, and hopefully we can have a good battle and battle out the rest of the season, and he's doing really good, and it's good to see him doing so well.
Another win for you, though. You're 2 races away from the dream season and sweeping this year. And I know that you have so many people who help you out with this race car. Who do you want to thank?
First of all, I want to thank my mom and dad very much, and my grandma and papa, and TJ Clark, Chris Bray, Jacob Bishop, Spencer Clark Drone Development, LNS Framing, Tucson Motorsports Inc., Kenny Shepard, MAV TV, 5150, Nut Up, and Mission Foods, and Madeira Speedway for everything they do.
Jeffrey Erickson just rattling off the sponsors there, and another victory here for this 23 car. It's shaping up to be a dream season for the Erickson family.
Okay, a large talent, the driver of the 23, Jeffrey Erickson, Stephen Blakeslee. That's 7 for 7 now.
Big time talent, and I think Jason Galvin's got to make his way down to Rebecca Doobie, our Mini Cup winner, and then we'll hear from her. Jason Galvin making his way over to Rebecca Doobie for an interview. Our Mini Cup winner extends her points lead. Let's throw it down there to Jason Galvin.
Rebecca Doobie down here in the winner's circle. And Rebecca, kind of anticlimactic night for you with Harley Keneally having those problems. And been a little short, but because of it, you get the win. And the championship now is pretty much in sight for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. But I really wish Harley was out here tonight racing against me. It would have been way funner.
You two have had some great battles here over the last couple of races. Tonight, instead, you had a chance to kind of maybe work on your own race car, learn something else for the next time around?
Yeah, we learned a lot, and we fixed our muffler problem. It was all bent, and now it's better, so yay.
Well, congratulations again. You're that much closer now here to picking up your first championship at Madeira Speedway.
I'd like to thank my sponsors and my family who made this all possible. I'd like to thank my brother, my dad, my mom, my grandparents, and my sisters, and my sponsors, New Oral Shrives, HIP Renovations, Paris Printing, and Main Street Music.
Congratulations, Rebecca Doobie, winning the Mini Cup portion of the Mini Cups and Bandoleros here tonight.
Well, a great performance by Rebecca Doobie in the mini cups, and I know she would like a little bit more competition. I expect she will as the rest of the season goes on. And nonetheless, even when the competition has been here, Rebecca has risen to the top.
Yes, Stephen Blakeslee, only unbeaten one time, and that was by Harley Keneally. So a great job this year for Rebecca Doobie. Tonight, junior late models, 70 laps of junior late model racing, 80 laps of our pro late models. Pros brought to you by Nut Up. And, of course, the juniors brought to you by 5150. Broadcast brought to you by Mission Foods, those great products. I was at home today eating some guacamole and the new salsa verde corn chips. They're really good.
So that's where you were. No,
yes.
No, that's awesome. Mission has great products. Can't thank them enough for their support of our live streams. And for all you tuned in around the world at Short Track TV on YouTube, we started a little bit earlier today, a 5 o'clock start after what was a pretty long night 2 weeks ago. We'd liked a lot quicker, a lot cleaner and greener night tonight. I think we're in store for that. And we have 13 5150 junior late models and 19 of our pro late models for Nut Up. So some pretty strong fields and 150 laps of late model racing coming here up for free right here on Short Track TV. You're going to hear us reference MAV TV quite a bit. There will be some MAV TV comments here and there because this is the presentation for our MAV TV broadcast that airs on Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific on channel 214 on DirecTV. So if you hear us reference MAV TV, this is a simulcast for that in a tape delay. Our next broadcast for MAV TV is going to be our Nut Up Pro Late Models on Monday, September 28th. So you want to tune in for that. 9 rounds of Pro Late Models, 9 rounds of Junior Late Models, all coming up on MAV TV this fall into next spring as well.
Yes, the shows have been great on Monday nights. The shows on MAV TV. I like to tune in every Monday night and watch the... I don't actually get to watch them live. I have to tape them and watch them when I get home, usually later in the night. But, yeah, some great action coming to you from Madeira Speedway every Monday night. It's 214 on Direct, 1105 on AT&T Uverse. It is 420 on Charter Communications.
And those junior late models rolling on the racetrack right now. If you've never seen our junior late models before, these drivers ages 10 to 16 years old. And you can start the year at 16 if you have your 17th birthday during the season like Cassidy Hines did a few weeks ago. You can still race and finish out the season. And, you know, this series attracts drivers from all over. We have 3 Colorado drivers. We have an Arizona driver in the field and a whole bunch of talented Californians. And what's been really cool about the series, it's virtually turned into almost being 50-50 female to male. Lots of young female talents in the series. We even have a Washington driver in the field out of Quincy, Washington for Casey Klein. So really good field of cars. Let us know in the comments who you're rooting for because it's almost time for the junior late models to battle. Bradley Erickson has been the sensation this year with 4 fast times, including the track record, 3 victories, but he was not the fastest today because we had a new track record, and that was Cole Brown at 14.937, eclipsing the 14.982 that was set by Bradley Erickson. And then in the redraw, we redraw the top 6. They both drew the 3rd row. So Cole Brown, the new track record holder, second on points, is going to start 3rd. The points leader, the former track record holder, Bradley Erickson, is going to start 6th. And you really can't beat that. Heads up racing when we get this thing underway here in just a few moments.
Yeah, we're just getting the cars lined up down here, Stephen Blakeslee. Wow, Cole Brown, new track record, and he will start out of position number 5. The redraw, the top 6 redrawed for positions.
And pretty soon we'll be seeing Jason Galvin and Zach down there for their stand-up. So we'll stay live for now, as that shouldn't be too long from now. Usually once we stop the last car, they go into their stand-up pretty soon. We also have Kenny Shepard recording his little intro as well, which I think he has already completed that. Quan, has he already completed that intro, Kenny Shepard? Oh, he has not. Well, then we should take a quick time out here while Kenny Shepard records his intro. And then when we come back, we're going to hear from Jason Galvin. And get ready. This is a good opportunity to get some Nut Up products, get some Mission products. Fasten the seatbelt on your recliner. It's time for the Junior Late Models for free around the world at ShortTrackTV here on YouTube.
Since 1977, Mission Foods has been creating fresh and authentic Mexican food products. Put some Mission in your kitchen, race fans. As we like to say here at the Madera Speedway, support the brands that support our sport. I'm Kenny Shepard here on Madera Racing on MAV TV, and we would like to welcome Mission Foods on board here on the Madera Racing program. Too fast, too tasty. Make sure Mission is the choice you make the next time you're at the store. Race fans, please support the brands that support our sport. NutUp Industries and NutUp.com is the primary sponsor of these free live streams for our fans to enjoy. Please go to NutUp.com and enter the code MAVTV20 for a 20% discount on all of their great, healthy almond snacks. Please visit NutUp.com and support the brands that support our sport by entering MAVTV20 for a 20% discount to say thank you for this free live stream tonight.
The Knockin' Doors Down autobiography by Carlos Vieira. It takes you deep into his destructive past and how racing saved his life and opened the door to give back to the community. And 100% of the sales go directly to the Carlos Vieira Foundation, an organization committed to raising awareness for addiction, mental health, and autism. And for inspiration and motivation, tune in weekly to the podcast every Thursday for real-life episodes from celebrities and local heroes. Get Knockin' Doors Down today at kddmediacompany.com or Amazon.
Hey race fans, are you a fan of grassroots racing? Would you like to see more content from behind the scenes at the Madera Speedway? If so, you need to check out our YouTube channel, ShortTrackTV. ShortTrackTV is where you will find the behind the scenes action with documentaries of the race car drivers, old race footage, and other exciting and fun content from the Madera Speedway. Go to ShortTrackTV and subscribe today and enjoy some more great content from the fastest 1/3 mile in the West, the Madera Speedway.
Welcome back to Madera Speedway. Madera Racing on MAV TV, ShortTrackTV on YouTube, free around the world. And yes, we started about an hour earlier. We've already run our Bandolero Mini Cup event, but hey, kind of a predictable result the way this season has gone. Rebecca Doobie winning the Mini Cups, Jeffrey Erickson continuing his sweep of the Bandoleros. Our junior late models for 5150 are on the grid right now. 13 of the best drivers ages 10 to 16 years old around the world are here at Madera to race for 70 laps in round number 7 of 2020. And out back, why don't we tell the folks that have tuned in where we are in the world? We're here in Madera, California.
Yeah, we're in Central California. We're on Highway 99, which basically runs from the Oregon border right down to into LA. And we're they just about grow anything. If it's grown or produced in California, Central Valley. As you like to say, we are the breadbasket of the world here in Madera, and we're about 20 minutes north of Fresno. So for those that are like dirt track people, we're kind of like the closest dirt tracks to us would be at the moment
Tulare.
would be no Hanford would be closer. Hanford would be closer. So you'd have King Speedway in Hanford. For the micro guys, it would be probably Lemoore, which is in a similar way as Hanford. North of us, Merced Speedway. So yeah, we're in this kind of area right on 99 where there's a ton of speedways off of 99, or a few miles off of 99. Look at that great field of late models today. And I tell you what, Stephen Blakeslee, the McClinneys, Cale McClinney out-qualified his older brother. Cale actually out-qualified Cabe, so that's going to be pretty interesting. We saw the battle last race where these two cars were going at it, and unfortunately for Cale, he broke a pickup point on the rear end, ending his race, but he was super fast in closing his brother in, and they will start alongside each other on row 4, so that's exciting tonight. Junior late models, great field here. The two young ladies down here, the two 17s, Kirsty Young in the white with the pink writing, and the other 17, that is Cassidy Hines. Actually, Holly Clark, I should say. Holly Clark in the 17, the black and red numbers.
So we're going to be throwing it down trackside to Jason Galvin, who's going to help us with our introductions for Short Track TV and MAV TV. Let's go down trackside to Jason Galvin.
As we get ready for round number 7 here in the 5150 Junior Late Model season in 2020, all eyes are certainly on the championship race. Of course, we're now 2/3 of the way through the season as we start the final leg, and that battle is awfully tight between Bradley Erickson and Cole Brown up front. But tonight, things could be a little tricky for the two championship hopefuls. They start 5th and 6th. Of course, here at Madera, we do a redraw after qualifying. In the junior class, it's 6 cars. The 2 points leaders drew the 2 worst starting spots in that draw. Those 4 drivers in front of them, Jake Bowman, Holly Clark, Cassidy Hines, and Kirsty Young, have never won here in the 5150 Junior Late Models, and all 4 of them are out to spoil the party here tonight. It's time to start thinking points, and it might also be time to start thinking a first-time winner here in the Junior Late Models. Round number 7 is coming up next right here on MAV TV.
Jason, and looking forward to seeing some of the new customers involved tonight. When you've got Holly Clark on the outside of the front row, you've got Haley Lyles, who ran her career best qualifying effort in the 15.5s, driving that 41 car for Howard Holden. There's a lot of storylines tonight that we'll be keeping an eye on in this event. In just a few moments, they're going to fire the engines for these cars, and we'll be off and running with our 5150 Junior Late Models. You're going to hear from Jason Galvin again in just a moment from the Nice Ride Turn 3 with a report, and then we go right into our MAV TV presentation. So make sure you get yourself buckled in, get your friends and family on board. Want to thank Fernando for tuning in from Argentina. Kathy Sutherland says, go Bradley Erickson. Steve Fernandez is watching from the Veterans Home in Fresno, so welcome aboard. Sterling Baker is tuned in. Jacqueline says, let's go Jake Bowman. And then we got Sterling Baker says, go Holly Clark. We got Stephanie rooting for Casey Cash. Sue Baker for Holly Clark. Scott Hines rooting for Cassidy Hines. Rod Wortham, Jake Cassidy, and Brody, of course. Kyle Lahr tuned in for Casey Cash. Brandy Lahr says Casey Klein from Washington State. Zachary Miller rooting for Haley Lyles. We got some fans for Cole Brown. Jake Bowman, another Casey Cash, another Holly Clark. They've tuned in from all over to see their favorites here tonight. Big hello to Lawrence tuning in from Canada. Stephanie is from Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome aboard. Here for the best young drivers in the world here from Madera Speedway.
Yes, the original Junior Late Model Series. And, wow, we've had some great racing in the years that we've had the Junior Late Models here at Madera Speedway. And it will continue tonight. I really look forward to this race tonight. The competition is really tightening up with everybody in the field. Stephen Blakeslee just... it seems it's coming closer together as the season goes on. 3 rounds remaining, including tonight's round. This is round 7 of 9. As Stephen Blakeslee said earlier, if you've just joined us, a big welcome along. And you hear a lot of reference to MAV TV tonight. We are recording this at MAV TV that is on Monday nights on your local TV provider. So we'll be doing a lot of referencing. We'll be throwing to breaks, coming back from breaks. So if you hear us say we're going to break or the end of the show, that will be the end of this Junior Late Model show. The live stream will continue right through with our Nut Up Pro Late Models. They'll have 80 laps tonight. After the 70 laps, so we get 150 laps of late model action coming. On the fastest 1/3 mile in the West, this is Madeira Speedway, a action-packed, tri-banked racetrack. And I tell you what, Steve Lacey, the sun has peaked itself out, so things are a little more cheery around. Unfortunately, you'll see the empty stands. We still can't have any fans in the stands, and we look forward to having them back as soon as possible.
Well, we want to give a big salute to our 5150 Junior Late Model two-time champion, and that would be the driver Jesse Love, the Hammer. He made his debut for Venturini Motorsports in the ARCA Menards Series at Winchester, the world's fastest half mile, and ran 4th today. So a great run by the 15-year-old.
That is very good.
Looks like Jason Galvin is standing by in the Nice Ride MAV TV turn number 3, and we're going to be throwing it down there to Jason here with 4 to go at the line. Jason Galvin.
She's been involved in incidents, and she told me before the race they've been chasing some mechanical gremlins as well. But she said they got it all figured out tonight. The car has felt great all day throughout practice and qualifying, and she's excited that she has a chance to start up front. Her plan is to keep that 17 car right there at the front of the field. Stephen, out back.
Well, thank you very much, Jason Galvin. To our race fans, this is round number 7 of 9 in our 5150 Junior Late Model Series. Bringing into the booth my partner in crime in the announcing booth to take you through. That is Stephen Blakesley.
Let's take a look at your starting lineup here for round number 7 of the 5150 Junior Late Models on MAV TV. On row number 1, it'll be Jake Bowman and Holly Clark.
Row number 2, Kirsty Young and Cassidy Hines.
Row 3, the new track record holder Cole Brown and the points leader Bradley Erickson.
Row number 4, it's the McClennies with Kale and Cave.
Row number 5, Brody Armtrout and Haley Lyles.
Row number 6, Brody Moore and Casey Klein.
And by himself on row 7 is Robbie Keneally. We have 5 onboard cameras today, including Casey Klein.
Yes, we have Brody Moore.
The 19 of Brody Armtrout.
The 07 of Cale McClenny.
And the 22 of Bradley Erickson. So, hey, our highest camera in the starting order is starting 6th. They selected these cameras before we qualified. So we're going to get some views from a little bit deeper in the order where I expect there's going to be a lot of action-packed racing. And we've got an exciting front row, a duo that's had a few mix-ups this year. Jake Bowman and Colorado's Holly Clark, both looking for their first wins in the series.
Yes, and also Jake Bowman looking for Nate Clown Motorsports' first victory of 2020. Usually by this part of the season, they have racked up probably a handful of wins, but this year Nate Clown Motorsports has not been to victory lane, and Bowman has been getting better every week. Stephen Blakesley, as he leads this first lap, he would love to find victory lane tonight.
Jake Bowman out front by 3 car lengths on Kersey Young. We're just about 3 wide. This is for 5th. So Holly Clark fell back.
Erickson's in the wall down the back. Erickson got into the wall, Stephen Blakesley, on the backstretch.
Well, that's going to drop him back outside of the top 5 as a pretty wild start. Holly Clark falling from the outside pole all the way to 5th on the opening lap. That's 6th, Cale McClenny, 7th for Erickson, and a little bit of a surprise the way these first couple of laps have played out.
Yes, it has. We've got a car around. That is the 41. That's the car fielded by Howard Holden for Haley Lyles. And Haley is around in the 41 car.
And we're going to get the 41 car of Haley Lyles turn back around. More 5150 racing coming up here on MAV TV.
Well, there's a lot of damage to the front of the 41 car, so I'm not sure that Haley Lyles didn't get into the back of someone and turn herself around, Stephen. That's all pushed backwards on the nose of this car.
Well, and that's a tough break for her. By far her career best qualifying effort, a 15.556. 10th quick. So I think going to that new car has been a big improvement for her. And we've loved to see her confidence improve. She's one of our favorite drivers to talk to. And, oh, boy, Casey Klein has a lot of damage. He's missing the whole right front fender on the 1K for the driver out of Quincy, Washington. And, Casey Klein started 12th. Haley Lyles started 10th. I wonder if that's a little hint to what happened there. We did have an onboard camera on Casey Klein's car.
Yes, we'll be able to get shots of that as well as future shots if he makes his way back out. But 2 cars early in the pit area getting attention. And the Howard Hall fielded machine for Haley Lyles. Looks like the whole front is pushed down. Casey Cashwell, he's going to make his way back out. They just removed the rest of that fender that was flapping in the breeze. Bowman up front alongside Kersey Young. Bowman has been improving every race. Stephen Lacey's been impressing me as this season goes on in 2020. Welcome back to round number 7 of 9 for the 2020 season of 5150 Junior Late Model Racing. It's Jake Bowman up front and Kersey Young. The very much improved Kersey Young, and of course getting a lot of help from Buddy Shepard aboard that 17 entry as we get into the new start zone. New starts for our 5150 Junior Late Model Stake, and that was a perfect start because the leader has to lead at the line.
Well, it was perfect for Jake Bowman, but it wasn't so perfect if you're Kersey Young. She really didn't do a great job getting through the corner there, and that's big trouble for her because there goes the new track record holder Cole Brown up into second. Young kind of cut off the bleeding there and managed to fall in line to third. Fourth is Holly Clark. Fifth is Cassidy Hines. We got female drivers third, fourth, and fifth. That's a great battle for fourth.
Yes, it is a great battle for fourth, and that is Cassidy Hines right in there with, I tell you what, we got trouble down here. The 88 has been hit pretty hard. A couple of cars on the wall. That's 17, and that would be Holly Clark down there. Wow. They were really mixing it up. And you see those cars right behind them, Stephen Blakesy, scrambling as Holly Clark is quick to drop the window net. So that's good that Holly is okay. Well, we'll take a quick commercial break while we clean up this mess down in turn number 3 at Madera Speedway. Hang tight, race fans. We'll be right back with you.
So Holly Clark, Cassidy Hines, the Colorado drivers having that battle for the 4th spot, and they get all tangled up on the back straightaway. And Holly Clark has had a rough couple of weeks. You remember on round 5, didn't even get to start the race due to mechanical problems, had all kinds of problems 2 weeks ago, and now in the wall here in round number 7. And those Colorado drivers, that was quite the mix-up there. Tough break for both of them. And looks like Cassidy Hines was able to continue, but Holly Clark, they're done.
Cassidy's now coming to the infield, so she'll bring that Nate Cloud Motorsports number 88 to the team down there. They will go to work on that car.
Cautions flying here on lap number 5, and we had hoped for a little bit cleaner night of racing after what we saw 2 weeks ago. And so far, we've got at least 4 cars tonight in this junior late model race that have already suffered damage, and we're only 5 laps into it. That earlier incident that involved Haley Lyles and presumably Casey Klein, and now this incident with Holly Clark and the 88 of Cassidy Hines. So, man, 4 cars with a lot of damage already, Andy.
From this accident, there's a lot of cars around these cars that were involved in that other incident when Erickson hit the wall down on the back section a little earlier in this race. I called it, I just saw it just right at the end of the camera shot. You saw him get in the wall, and that was around these same cars, so around the 88 and around the 17 as well.
So glad to see Holly Clark is out of the car and surveying the damage, left her helmet on, and she looks a little frustrated right now, Andy.
Yes, things haven't been going her way for a while now, so she's looking for a turnaround of luck. And 2020 has thrown everybody a lot of curveballs, and it continues to throw those curveballs at the driver, the 17C of Holly Clark.
What all started, it seems like the outside has been a bit treacherous so far for both of the 17 cars. So it started on lap number 1. Holly Clark from the outside pole drifted back to 5th and then got herself into this battle with Cassidy Hines. And then on the following restart, we saw Kersey Young backpedal back to 3rd. And so it's been a little treacherous for those 17 cars on the top shelf. And so the question is, if you're Jake Bowman in the 71, do you try to pit the 04 Cole Brown on the outside? That's the question mark.
Good question. He's done it from the inside pretty good. The last 2 restarts, it's worked out for Bowman there. You do risk putting Brown up on the high line, and Brown, if he gets it right up there, for a club race last week, the outside was working pretty good.
Cabe McClenny to the pits.
Yeah, Cabe hasn't been having a good run in this race. In fact, his brother Cale has been getting the best of him here.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break here on Short Track TV. Right back after this, we're going to pay some bills and have some more free late model racing right here from Madera, California.
Race fans, we invite you to visit the Carlos Vieira Foundation today. The foundation supports and champions causes like Race for Autism, Race to End the Stigma, and Race to Be Drug-Free. All the proceeds from 5150 energy drink and 5150 apparel sales benefit the Carlos Vieira Foundation. Please visit carlosvierafoundation.org to learn more about this wonderful organization.
The Knockin' Doors Down autobiography by Carlos Vieira. It takes you deep into his destructive past and how racing saved his life and opened the door to give back to the community. And 100% of the sales go directly to the Carlos Vieira Foundation, an organization committed to raising awareness for addiction, mental health, and autism. And for inspiration and motivation, tune in weekly to the podcast every Thursday for real-life episodes from celebrities and local heroes. Get Knockin' Doors Down today at kddmediacompany.com or Amazon.
Race teams and race fans, are you ready for the Race to Be Drug-Free Big 3 Series at the Madera Speedway, featuring $75,000 of bonus money over and above the giant purses in play on July 25th, September 5th, and October 3rd. That's a $10,000 finale October 3rd. September 5th is $5,000 to win, and July 25th is $5,000 to win also. Race to Be Drug-Free Big 3 Series coming to the Madera Speedway. Be there.
Welcome back to Short Track TV, Madera Speedway, Madera, California, and that's a bad day.
That is a bad day. That is an expensive 4 laps that we've had, or 5 laps that we've had for Holly Clark, and her season goes south, which is unfortunate. So we get ready to bring this event back for MAV TV at the line, and Stephen Blasey will be bringing us back.
Welcome back to round number 7 of the 5150 Junior Late Models on Madera Racing on MAV TV. A driver looking for his first win. 3rd in the points, Jake Bowman. He's that green 71. He'll be on the inside. Our driver 2nd on points with the new track record. Cole Brown will be on the outside. We've only run 5 of 70 here from Madera, California. Our new restart zone worked perfectly. Maybe Brown might have beat Bowman back to the line, and we'll see what race officials think of that. Outback Andy.
Yes, you have to be, the lead car has to be the leader at the line. And I believe it's a stop-and-go penalty if you jump that start. Black flag is out on the 04. That is effectively a big penalty now for the 04. Did not make it to the line behind the lead car. The new restart procedure, Steve Blasey, you have to be at the checkered line, at the start line where Frank is. You go into the pits and take a stop-go penalty, and like you'll see now, the car came in, a stop-go penalty, and back out.
Yep, so Cole Brown, and it was almost dangerous trying to get to the pits, but you'll see he'll lose a lap there. And the question is, if he can get that lap back on a lucky dog throughout the event and get himself back in the event, the answer is yes. But all of this calamity, look who it's brought into the frame. 6th starting Bradley Erickson, the points leader, 3 wins, 4 fast times, and he is hounding the back of that 71 of Jake Bowman.
Yes, he is, and look right behind them. You'll see as they come into shot, they went out of shot, but in shot, 2 Bakersfield cars, Steve Blasey. Look at this, Kersey Young and Cale McClenny, the younger brother of Cabe. Cabe is backtracking way down the back, and Cale up to 4th now.
We'll stay with the 22 car, Bradley Erickson. He was our previous track record holder, and It's been a good season when you're 4 fast times out of 6 coming into tonight. Had a comfortable 57-point advantage in the points. That was interesting. He diamond the corner. That was almost like he missed the corner, or he's just trying things. Erickson driving a much different line than the rest of the field right now.
Yeah, the leader, the 71 of Bowman, he is like a catfish. He is way down low at the bottom. In fact, if he got any further down, he'd be over the rumble strip. You'll see him drive right down, trying to protect that inside from Erickson getting to him. He knows the way Bowman's doing it, he's driving from the inside, then coming up the racetrack, blocking that run from Erickson. That's a very smart drive. And how about this third, Kersey Young and Cale McClenny, the younger of the two brothers, having his best drive here at Madera in the junior late models. He comes by the way of mini cups.
Well, you'll recall that he had a real good race 2 weeks ago, fell out of the race with mechanical issues. They weren't quite sure if they were even going to make it here today, but they did. And he was closing up on Kersey Young, and now it looks like Kersey Young, our junior late model challenge camp participant from a year ago, is starting to find something to pull away. Kersey Young, a DNF to start the year, a last place finish, and has overcome that to run 4th in the points, only 3 points behind Bowman in the battle for 3rd. Kersey Young is poised to try to podium this year in the standings. Back to the battle up front. I don't think the 22 of Bradley Erickson is pressing the issue here. We are not even halfway through the first segment.
No, we're not. Just plenty of time. 40 laps, and then you have 30 laps to run it out for Erickson. But Erickson will want to try and max out the points because Cole Brown going down a lap here, Stephen Blakeslee, is going to take a big hit in the points right now, because when we get to the break, he is not probably going to be in the top 5. So that is a loss of some points that Erickson's going to pick up.
Yep, so right now as he runs second, Bradley Erickson would earn 4 bonus points at the Mission Tortilla Chips Racing Style halftime show. We're 19 down, 21 to go to the break. In the first 40 lap segment, the battle for the lead has been close, the battle for 3rd has been close, but nobody is really making any aggressive maneuvers just yet, as this time at the line, we are halfway through. 20 down, 20 to go in this opening segment. And this driver was in the top 5 at the break 2 weeks ago and looms large in car 19.
Yes, Brody Armstrong now making his way up in that 19 entry. You'll see that battle. Kersey Young, Cale McClenny, then Brody Armstrong closing in on that battle.
Well, we saw in the early stages of this series, back in the beginning, that we had a lot of dirt experienced drivers that ran really well. Armstrong hoping to be the next dirt experienced driver. He had a big wiggle coming out of 4 right there. And meanwhile, Bradley Erickson, I really got to think he's just pacing himself right now. The Spencer Clark driven
got
development.
into Bowman and shoved
Why does
Bowman.
I say that?
Yeah, absolutely shoved Bowman. That could have ended up with both those cars going to the rear. It would have been an involvement rule on Erickson if Bowman had gone around. The officials are very strong on that. If you get into a car and you turn them and that guy goes around, you will go to the back. So Erickson needs to play it cool here, because Bowman, I know Bowman has been chopping him off, but you don't want that big penalty going to the back when right now you have either first or second in points till the break pretty much locked up here.
Really impressed by the tenacity of Jake Bowman. He hung in there, keeps the lead. Meanwhile, this has been a good battle as well. Kersey Young has really not shown any problems or any kind of intimidation from having Cale McClenny behind her. That's why I'm so impressed by these junior late models. They run so close together, and yet these drivers do a great job. They just don't make a lot of mistakes.
No, they don't make a lot of mistakes. And I tell you what, though, Kersey Young has, you'll see in shot right now, has Cale McClenny right behind her, and Cale is starting to nudge the back of that 17 car. Now, Cale's not super experienced in racing up front like this. He'll have to be careful how he uses that nose in this race.
We have 2 of our winningest Bandolero drivers from Kern County Raceway. And then here at Madera, Kersey, several Bando wins. Of course, Cale, the former Mini Cup champion here at Madera. So a lot of small car experience. These 2 have raced together a lot.
Yep.
And maybe there's a bit of respect there for the Bakersfield. You know, these are both teams that race on a razor-thin budget, as you like to say. And there's a look at Jake Bowman, trying to finally close out a win for Nate Clower Motorsports. I wonder if running with the Nut Up Pro Late models hasn't given him a bit of shot of confidence where he qualified up within the redraw. So that will give you a nice shot of confidence as well.
10 to go from Frank that time as they went by the line. So with the line this time, 9 to go for Jake Bowman. And he would love to win a segment. I believe that would be his first segment win.
As they're working their way past the 41 of Haley Lyles, who's racing without a front nose piece. Car almost resembles our 602 Pro Modifieds as Kirsty Young makes her way past. Kale McClenny works his way past. Battle for fifth, and nice little comeback here from Cassidy Hines.
Yeah, Cassidy Hines involved in that incident with Holly Clark and some others, and also involved with Erickson earlier in the race as well. So for the 88 of Cassidy Hines, like you say, that is a nice fight back in 6th position, trying to grab that top 5 position from Brody Armtrout. You see right now down the turn, Armtrout down there making a passing move past Haley Lyles. So now Cassidy Hines in that Nate Cloud Motorsports, and Armtrout got sideways in front of her. Well, that could have been big, Steve Blakeslee.
Got sideways. Hines goes to capitalize here as we have been green for 30 consecutive laps here on lap 35. 5 to go to the break. And as these guys go side by side, that brings Cabe McClenny into the fold. Cassidy Hines edging forward. She might get an interview at the break and some bonus points. Give a point to Hines as she moves up to the 5th spot here as we're coming up on 3 to go to the break. The battle between Kirsty Young and Cale McClenny is continuing.
Yes, it is continuing, but how about that big mistake from Brody Armtrout? Got it sideways. Cassidy Hines got to the inside. Now Erickson drives down to the inside of Bowman. Have to be very, very careful here as we come down to 6 laps remaining. Frank there with that yellow flag saying, use your head here. Oh, Bowman went up the racetrack, and Erickson now to the inside, Stephen Blakeslee.
Bradley Erickson to the inside. Remember, Erickson was on the receiving end of an aggressive maneuver late in the run from Seth Wise earlier this year. Erickson has turned up the wick on the 39th lap. This will be the final lap to the Mission Racing Style Tortilla Chips break. Bowman on the outside, Erickson on the inside. Bradley Erickson's going to get maximum points, 5 points to the break on Jake Bowman. Kirsty Young holds on for 3rd. Cale McClenny and Cassidy Hines, your top 5.
It looks like Cade McClenny got by Brody Armtrout, so wow. Yes, he did. Cade McClenny got by. Brody Moore will be scored 8th. Casey Klein, Robbie Keneally, Cole Brown, Haley Lyles, Holly Clark. That is the full rundown at the break, Stephen Blakeslee, as we put these cars to the temporary pitting area. We'll have a short break where everybody will go to work on the cars. Jason Galvin will go down and talk to our top 5 drivers when we return on MAV TV.
41 car Haley Lyles turns it back around, and we're going to be stopping these cars to get interviews from Jason Galvin here in just a few moments. Love the fast pace of this one. 35 consecutive laps under green, and we're going to get them all spaced out and squared away. So far, they're still circulating under caution speed, taking a moment to get them all into the proper positioning, and then we'll do that, and we'll get this thing back underway.
Yes, just waiting for the officials to stop the car. They're waiting for the Haley Lyles car. Now they're going to stop the cars on the front stretch. We'll have a live pit stops here at Madeira. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome along to Madeira Speedway's live stream on MAV TV, a free live stream. Not many tracks can bring you a free live stream. We're also recording for MAV TV, which is shown on MAV TV every Monday night. So the guys and girls get it shut down. Some interesting stories so far in this race, and I think the big story so far is that huge mistake by Brody Armtrout. A driver of that caliber should not have made that mistake because he has paid a large penalty for this. He went from being inside the top 5 down to 7th position. So tough break for that driver, but there's some great racing action. Why we went green flag racing was we wait for Jason Galvin to make his way down to talk to the driver. You see Jake Bowman quickly out of the race car, and he'll talk to his crew, and we'll be hearing from him soon. He'll be a pretty happy driver, too, sitting in second.
So Jason Galvin just about in position there, waiting on him to grab our race leader, and we'll go into our halfway presentation, MAV TV style, here on Madera Racing on MAV TV. All right, looks like our race leader, Bradley Erickson, is just about ready to go. Jason Galvin is standing by with Bradley Erickson.
Down here with Bradley Erickson, your leader here at the break. Bradley, that power move with 2 laps left there in the opening 40 laps to get into the lead. You got into the wall there on lap 2. It doesn't seem like that's really affecting the race car.
No, it's not really affecting it at all. I was actually surprised at how my car handled towards the end of the halfway break there. So we're going to make a few adjustments still, and we'll be good to go for the rest of the race.
Were you worried when you hit the wall? It looked like it was a pretty decent hit from our vantage. What did it feel like in the car?
Yeah, it was definitely a hard hit. I thought like we knocked the toe out or something, but so far the toe's not knocked out, I don't think. Handling really good. Make a few adjustments, and we'll go win this thing.
Points leader has 30 more laps to try to pick up another win.
Well, he's got 30 more laps to go for another victory, and you could see the damage on the right side of that car for Bradley Erickson, but it looks like he wasn't much worse for wear, and it sounds like he's not too concerned. Really interested to hear this interview with Jake Bowman and where he wants to be on this restart, high or low. He's standing by with Jason Galvin.
Well, Jake Bowman had a great qualifying run today. Started up front. You led the first 38 laps of this one, and then the 22 car got around you there. It looked like you might have found something when you had to move up to the top side. Do you think that will help you here on the restart?
Yeah, I think I'll be good on the outside. We're just going to loosen the car up in the center. We were a little tight, and I think we have a good chance of winning.
22 car got around you there at the end. Did you learn anything about where he might be better than you those last 2 laps of that run?
He was better than me in the center. I think because we were really tight. We lost some stagger in the left rear, so we're going to get that back up, and I think we'll be good.
It's been a strong performance from Jake Bowman here so far in this one.
Well, and Jake Bowman talking about a thing I think we've heard a lot this year from the Nate Clara Motorsports junior late model teams, tight in the center. And we've heard from a couple drivers such as Kersey Young that being loose is real advantageous for the junior late models to get that drive off the corner with the restrictor plate. So he's going to try to loosen it up and make a run for it on the outside. We'll see our drivers down there with their Mission Tortilla hats. One of them is standing by with Jason Galvin. It's Kersey Young.
And Bakersfield's Kersey Young sits in 3rd place here at the lap 40 break. Kersey qualified second quick tonight. Had to kind of bide your time there due to the invert. What do you feel about this race car here as we head into the last 30?
We're struggling a little bit all day yesterday for practice. We struggled a little bit for the first practice. The car hasn't been, I wouldn't say the best, but it's been way better since last year. But the car felt free. I figured out why, but other than that, we're happy with the car.
You say you figured out why. Does that mean you think you have a chance to get up here and race with the first 2 cars in the last 30?
Hopefully it changed it a whole lot, considering that that's normally what we do to help it. But to be honest, I don't know if it's going to change it a whole lot, but hopefully we can get up there and battle with Bradley and Bowman.
All right, Kersey Young sits in 3rd place here at the break.
Well, Kersey Young, if you closed my eyes, I almost think we're interviewing a 14-year-old or 15-year-old Buddy Shepard from his beginnings here. She's starting to take on kind of the cadence, the style, even a little bit of that accent they got there in North Bakersfield for Kersey Young, and we'll see how she does here on this restart. Another Bakersfield driver, Cale McClenny, up to 4th, standing by with Jason Galvin.
Well, in round number 6, Cale McClenny was kind of the stunner of the show, running up inside the top 5. He had a chance at that podium. You lost the right rear tire. Sure looks like you guys have picked up right where you left off in the last round, though. This car seems really strong. What type of changes do you need to make to get up here and bring home a podium?
A little bit more drive off, just have a little bit drive off to get past 17, just see what we can go from there, and just see if we can get past to get that podium.
What's been the difference for this team, you and your brother both, over the last now 2.5 rounds have really come on strong?
I don't really know. I kind of just picked it up following him and just seeing where it went. And now just in front of him, it's kind of shocking. It's really surprised me.
You can tell it's really surprising him here. Little brother ahead of big brother at the lap 40 break.
Well, and I think what Jason Galvin was trying to lead Cale McClenny to mention is the impact that Brian Herzog has had on that program, and that's been a big part of why they've picked up the pace. A lot of us here on the Madera Racing on MAV TV program have noticed that, but also Cale has improved a lot as a driver as he gets more and more experience under his belt. A great comeback after a big mix-up earlier in the race. I wonder how the car is for this young lady. Up to 5th is 17-year-old Cassidy Hines.
Cassidy Hines, the second of our young ladies up here in the top 5. Cassidy, your teammate's been really strong in this race, led a bunch of laps. You've been able to run around here in the top 5 after that early race contact with Holly. How much did that affect this race car?
Right now it's just a minor setback. We're getting a little bit of pushing, but it's a little towed out, but I think we'll manage.
You've watched this car. It's been strong all day. Your teammate's been strong all day. What's it like to have days like this where both of you are really running strong?
It feels really good to have days like this. It's definitely a confidence booster, that's for sure.
Cassidy Hines sits in 5th place here at the break, and they're going to try to get the left side of that race car fixed up. It does have a little bit of damage from that early incident.
Well, she said that these runs have been a confidence booster for the 88 of Cassidy Hines, and you can see her confidence continuing to grow here in our 5150 Junior Late Models. That's been your Mission Racing Style Tortilla Chips Halfway Show. 40 laps down, 30 to go. It's all coming up next with the 5150 Junior Late Models here on MAV TV.
Since 1977, Mission Foods has been creating fresh and authentic Mexican food products. Put some Mission in your kitchen, race fans. As we like to say here at the Madera Speedway, support the brands that support our sport. I'm Kenny Shepard here on Madera Racing on MAV TV, and we would like to welcome Mission Foods on board here on the Madera Racing program. Too fast, too tasty. Make sure Mission is the choice you make the next time you're at the store.
Outback Andy, it's race time here at Madera.
Yes, it is.
Race fans, please support the brands that support our sport. NutUp Industries and NutUp.com is the primary sponsor of these free live streams for our fans to enjoy. Please go to NutUp.com and enter the code MAVTV20 for a 20% discount on all of their great, healthy almond snacks. Please visit NutUp.com and support the brands that support our sport by entering MAVTV20 for a 20% discount to say thank you for this free live stream tonight.
Through the Race to Be Drug-Free campaign, we raise awareness about the harmful effects of drugs. We educate children both inside and outside of schools about staying off of drugs and out of trouble. We also have our Gloves Not Drugs boxing program, which allows kids between the ages of 8 and 18 to come learn the art of boxing and also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
They've taught me to become a role model to everyone else. Watch what I do when no one else is looking, do the right thing all the time.
It's been amazing. I really love the program. My favorite part is working with my team, my coaches. They made me who I am.
The program really motivates them to become a better person.
I've gotten better in school, more discipline, and I've gotten better grades since I started this program.
Your teammates, they're not only your teammates, they're family,
Kids who could potentially be doing something bad with their lives, and they can turn it into something good and positive.
Thank you for this sport, and it helped me a lot.
iPull is California's #1 destination for self-service auto parts. Why? Only iPull offers a free 60-day cashback guarantee on our parts. We also buy old cars, wrecked cars, and junk cars, so our customers have access to the parts they want and need. We pay cash for these cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, whether they're running or not. Towing is available. Call us at 855-470-CASH. iPull Auto Parts, a better way to buy auto parts guaranteed. Open daily at 8 a.m. with locations in Fresno, Stockton, and in Pomona.
Personalized advice, precision, and speed, whether purchasing a home or looking to refinance. This is what RPM Mortgage delivers to you. Home loans fast. With our new Home on Time application, we have seamlessly integrated technology into our lending process, allowing you to submit your information in just minutes from any device, anywhere. You can even do it right from the track. If you are looking for a home loan at an accelerated speed, visit rpmwins.com. RPM is the proud title sponsor of the Pro Late Model Series at the Madera Speedway.
What you say we do a new day.
Good times begin with the cool, refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Made with real brewed tea and just a touch of lemon. Wherever you decide to unwind, make sure you do it with a twist.
Day drinking, yeah, some day drinking.
Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Unwind with a twist.
The Knocking Doors Down autobiography by Carlos Vieira. It takes you deep into his destructive past and how racing saved his life and opened the door to give back to the community. And 100% of the sales go directly to the Carlos Vieira Foundation, an organization committed to raising awareness for addiction, mental health, and autism. And for inspiration and motivation, tune in weekly to the podcast every Thursday for real-life episodes from celebrities and local heroes. Get Knocking Doors Down today at kddmediacompany.com or Amazon.
Welcome back to the Madera Racing live stream from Madera Speedway in Central California. Round number 7 of 9 of the 150 Junior Late Models. And our race leaders, Bradley Erickson, Jake Bowman, Percy Young, Cale McClenny, and Cassie Hines, the top 5. For those out there, we are recording for MAV TV, so what we're showing you is mostly what is going over MAV TV.
So the big conversation in the halfway break interviews was some guys were tight, some guys were loose. They were all looking for bite off. It seems like being loose has been the fast way in the junior late models, just a little tick loose. So you can get on the gas earlier, get that bite off. So that leaves the question mark of how this restart is going to align, and we're going to find out really soon. They're going to cross them up and go one more time around. Looks like they're going to go one more time around before we see the one to go. And when we do that, we'll go to our MAV TV presentation, and it looks like Erickson will be outside of Bowman, and that's the first time we've seen a leader pick the outside tonight.
Well, that's work for Erickson up there. That's how he, he ran up there and got by Bowman. So we'll see how this works for this restart. Interesting second row with those two Bakersfield kids. Welcome back to Madera Racing on MAV TV. Round number 7 of 9 of 5150 Energy Junior Late Models. Hey, Steve Blakesy, Jake Bowman is on the inside, but Erickson in the 22 is our lead car. He has picked the outside for this restart.
And those drivers on the second row, Kersey Young and Cale McClenny, are going to be really keen to see the driver in front of them get moving. Bradley Erickson with a perfect restart. And we're back underway, and he immediately shuts the door on Jake Bowman. Here comes Cale.
Yeah, actually both McClennys are coming on the outside. Cale now has stepped it up, the younger of the two McClennys, the least experienced of the two. He has Brian Herzog as his spotter. Brian Herzog, of course, a Great Lake model racer himself, and he gets around the outside with Bowman. A power move. You said they loosen these cars up. That car was a little loose as he drove around the outside and moving around the racetrack. But what a great run. As we said, Brian Herzog is the guy that's in the ear of Cale McClenny, and wow, has that made a difference since that happened.
Yep, Cale McClenny up to second here on lap 42. It'll be lap 43 at the line. With 27 to go, I'd argue the McClennys are for sure a factor in this race. Both Bandolero graduates, both Mini-Dwarf graduates, and 3 Bandolero and Mini-Dwarf drivers in the top 5. The McClennys and Kersey Young, battling with that 71 of Jake Bowman, who comes out of the small little trophy car trucks like where Haley Deegan started. And he's got to find a way to grab a gear and fly away because he's got the 05 all over him.
Yes, he has the 05. And right in front, that 07, Cale McClenny, last race, heartbreak for Cale, was running really, really strong, ran his brother down, and they broke a part that holds the rear end in the car, and it tore up a whole lot of stuff, tore up all the chassis down there. They worked really hard to get this car back on the racetrack with the limited funds they have, and look at the result. Now the McClennys are second and third. Bowman has slidden all the way back, the early leader, to 4th.
Yeah, Bowman back to 4th this time by. We are on lap number 47. And, we saw Kersey Young go backwards on a restart. We saw Holly Clark go backwards on a restart. The difference is those drivers were on the outside. I'm surprised to see Jake Bowman going backwards from the inside, and he's not done, I think. He's got company from Kersey Young. That's the 88 of Cassidy Hines and the 04 of Cole Brown, all right there in the mix. Cole Brown still being shown 1 lap behind on our scoring monitor so after that penalty earlier in the event, but they're all lining up behind Jake Bowman.
Yes, they are all lining up, Stephen Blakeslee, and wow. Bowman now getting that rear end peppered by Kersey Young, like you said, the former star from the Bandoleros. Kersey Young doing a great job back there in that would be 5th position on the racetrack right now, and Kersey getting to the inside of Bowman. So whatever they did to Bowman's car hasn't necessarily helped him during the break. Let's hope that when these tires get really up to operating temperature, Bowman can find something, because right now he is dropping way back.
Kersey Young up to 4th here on lap 51, and oh man, Cole Brown almost took it 3 wide, and like we said, Cole Brown still being reflected there. He's been updated,
yes,
as he is on the lead lap. So Cole Brown in the mix. He got the lap back after that penalty, and he is charging through the field.
Yeah, that Farmer's car now gets to the inside of Cassidy Hines, the 88, the Nate Clown Motorsports cars running together on the outside, and Cole Brown now moves up 1 more position on the racetrack, so he has scored in 6th position on the racetrack.
6th, but he wants 5th from Jake Bowman, and these are your drivers 2nd and 3rd in the points. Cole Brown 2nd, Bowman 3rd, and Cole Brown, he just gobbled him up, devoured the 71. That was a quick work, and I think the new track record holder might have something for the leader before this thing's over.
Yes, Brown trading body panels with the 71. That was all fair too. Just got in there, just gave him the quick rub, moved him out of the way, and said, hey, I'm faster than you. It's the 2 Nate Clown Motorsports entries, Bowman and Hines battling it out.
They're battling for 5th right now, and look at the gap that Bradley Erickson has accumulated over Cale McClenny. 1.7 seconds, almost a full straightaway, but don't take anything away from Cale McClenny. This is a career-defining accomplishment, the way that the McClennys are running 2nd and 3rd, and things are still really tight. 3rd on back, Cabe, Kersey, and Cole Brown all under a blanket.
Yes, they are. Cabe McClenny is under super pressure in front of these cars, the 71 and the 88. Let's try and see. Here we go. Look at this. Look how under pressure Cabe is. He has the Cole Brown now moves to the inside of Kersey Young down the back. Kersey's about to lose one more spot. Kersey was shown in 4th. We'll give that to Brown now as he tries to track down Cabe McClenny, the older of the two McClenny brothers, and the more experienced of the two.
So the question is where Cole Brown is better, inside or outside? And that'll determine where he needs to get if we get a late restart, where he'll want to restart. From 4th, he would be on the outside of the 2nd row, and he would try to follow Bradley Erickson, but he's going for 3rd.
I think when we see him make a move on the 05, he's been trying the inside. It hasn't worked. If he tries the outside and it works, then we'll know something as we see our leader Erickson. We have a thrilling battle.
A thrilling battle for the 3rd spot going on down to that straightaway.
Turn 3 looks Steve Blakesy right here. You see it side by side. Cabe McClenny about to lose a spot. Brown now up to 3rd, and he is charging hard.
Well, we talked about the drivers want to loosen their cars up. Cale was super loose on the exit of 4 for 2 consecutive laps. You just can't give the bottom to Cole Brown that many times. But look at how loose Cabe McClenny is.
Wow, Cabe. That's almost dirt track style the way he was doing that. Got to be careful. You don't want to burn the tires off that 05. He is way far too loose because Kersey Young now is getting to the inside of him. And suddenly we find Cabe McClenny is backtracking down here. That super loose car as he gets in the back of Kersey Young.
Back to 5th place with 5 to go. It's Erickson, Cale McClenny, Cole Brown, Kersey Young, Cabe McClenny, your top 5. There's a look at your leader, Bradley Erickson, putting a lap on the 41 of Haley Lyles, and he has not kept his foot off the throat of this field. Ran his best lap of the main event on lap 48. So he has been on the gas all the way around. 4 to go.
4 to go. The big question is, though, for 2nd place, can Cole Brown, Mr. Fast Time, track record holder, run down that 07 of Cal McClenny? He's got a big distance to do that.
Well, he's been making up about 0.3 a second per lap, but the difference is 1.8
Oh, here we go.
seconds.
We got a car turning around. That is
that's Cabe.
Cabe goes around. He needs to get that car off the racetrack on not what the McClennys wanted. That car around. That puts that 07 right in the clutches now. Race fans, we'll take a short commercial break and back with the thrilling last 3 laps of this main event.
Cautions flying here on lap 67 for Cabe McClenny. We were on the way to a McClenny 2nd and 3rd, and now Cole Brown and Kersey Young have got to be licking their chops because they've got a shot to make this thing really interesting. I suspect that you'll see Erickson outside of Cale, and row 2 will be Cole Brown inside, Kersey Young outside. The fast 4 with the Nate Clark Motorsports cars looming right behind them in row number 3.
Yeah, the big question is what happened with Cabe, whether he got turned, and if there's any involvement rule there. We'll wait and see how this works.
I believe he was all by himself at that moment. There was no one within his midst out back, so we will see as they're working around here on lap number 67.
Yeah, Ericsson's got to make a decision here pretty quick what he wants to do. What a great race going for 2nd place, Cal McClenny. Erickson in command of this race, was in no danger of losing this. Now he's going to have to scramble and get going because he's going to have that very, very fast car, Cole Brown, to deal with here. And that's not the way they were looking for a while.
Well, when you look at the best laps, the best lap of this main event was Cole Brown on lap 21, a 15.263. Of course, Cole Brown, the new track record holder today, as he zipped around the Madera Speedway in an absolutely sizzling 14.937, breaking the track record that Erickson set at 14.982.
That would really put you right in the mix for the pro late models here at Madera.
Yeah, it would put him. It would put him just about 3rd or 4th in the pros. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive from our junior racer.
So again, we expect Bradley Erickson will go outside of Cale McClenny, but stranger things have happened here. Cale seems to expect it.
Yep. Well, Cale has expected that, and Brown is behind Cale. So I think what Erickson wanted to do was not have Brown behind him. I think that's what their thinking is to put that McClenny car blocking that 04 car, Kirsty Young, to the outside of row number 2.
Yeah.
And then you have Bowman now up to 5th, and Armtrout. As we come back to the line, we should be going one at the line here, and bringing him back on MAV TV will be Stephen Blakesley.
Welcome back to our 5150 Junior Late Models, a 3-lap shootout for round number 7. Your leader is that black 22, the points leader, Bradley Erickson. Second is the 07 of Cale McClenny. The 05 of Cade McClenny and the 88 of Cassie Hines have been relegated to the rear for the caution. Keep an eye on this restart. Can Cale get up there alongside Erickson? We're back underway.
Yes, we are back underway now. Cale McClenny scrambles to the inside, trying to block that run from that 04. We know how fast that 04 of Cole Brown, and we got Kirsty Young to the outside of Brown, and here comes McClenny now, making a run on the 22 of Erickson.
2 to go, and Kirsty Young, that was disastrous. Would have loved to be right on the back bumper of Erickson, but couldn't do it. She'll settle for 4th, and is going to have to fight for that. The battle is going to be for 2nd underneath the white flag from Fearless Frank McBee.
Yes, we got Erickson up front, but the big dogs are back, and they're trying to take a bite out of that 07. Can the underdog, as Kenny Shepard would say, one of our underdogs, defeat one of the powerhouse teams? We're out of turn number 4, Stephen Blakesley.
A slide from Bradley Erickson. He makes it to the finish as they wreck Jake Bowman, and the 17 of Kirsty Young spin collects the 19 of Armtrout as Bradley Erickson sees the checkered flag. Bradley Erickson gets himself his 4th win in the 5150 Junior Late Models, a career best 2nd for Cale McClenny, and rounding out your podium will be Cole Brown. Those 3 drivers are going to be down in victory lane with Jason Galvin after a thrilling round number 7 of the 5150 Junior Late Models here on MAV TV. And we did not see what happened there in that incident, but we did see that Bowman and Young were side by side going into the corner. And next thing we know, Young is around, collects the 19 of Armtrout. Looks like neither of those cars suffered a whole lot of damage, but disastrous for Kirsty Young's championship aspirations, as she will unofficially be 11th at the finish. Never made it back to the line.
Wow, that is very, very big. And what is big is what's happening down there in victory lane with that 07. That is a massive achievement. Wow, talk about underdogs taking it up to our experienced drivers. This kid, heartbreak for him last race with breaking that rear end, and going over to talk to Cole Brown. I think that was, hey, thanks for running me clean like that. Big brother comes in and has a bit of a discussion as well. So, yep, they're all happy down there in victory lane, 2nd and 3rd.
And it looks like they're just about ready for us down there, but we might take a quick commercial break. But Jason Galvin's working his way into position down there, and Dave Sabota's already reaching into Bradley Erickson's car. I know it's hot inside those cars. I think we're going to stay with it here and see if we can get Jason Galvin down there and get this thing rocking and rolling. This is going to be a big celebration down there for sure.
Yes, it is. Got some people online saying thanks to the free live stream. So, yes, we're enjoying bringing this to you. Nut Up, 5150 and Mission Foods making that possible. You want me to bring it?
So we're just about ready. Cole Brown comes in to congratulate Bradley Erickson, as does Cade McClenny. A big victory for Bradley Erickson, his 4th win of the year here on MAV TV, and he's standing by with Jason Galvin.
And an extension on the points lead as the driver of the 22 car climbs out for the 4th time this year. Bradley Erickson victorious here at Madera Speedway in the 5150 Junior Late Models. Bradley, just another dominant run for you, able to get out front early there despite the contact, and you can see the scrape-ups on the right side of this race car. Didn't seem like anything was going to stop you tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's just ever since that contact in the wall, I was a little bit doubtful of how easy we're going to get to the front, but you know, our team just never gave up. We got the win. Can't thank all my guys enough. TJ Clark, Chris Bray, Jacob Bishop, LNS Framing, Tucson Motorsports Inc., Fastline Motorsports, Kenny Shepard, and Madera Speedway for all they do for us, and just everyone who supports me and helps out on this thing.
I have to ask you, we get to caution with 3 laps to go. You look in the mirror, and all of a sudden the 04, after that penalty, fights his way back in the lead lap, is up into the 3rd position. How much did that factor into your decision to start on the outside line, therefore keeping him off of your bumper on the restart?
Yeah, the outside line definitely worked for us once again. So if I knew if I held him on the bottom, I knew I'd get a good run on the outside and just able to hold him there, and we would just take off for the win. And that's what we did, and we got the win.
Well, congratulations. 2 more races left here in this season, and things are looking awfully good for you right now.
Yes, they are. Points lead, I think it's another extension, so pretty happy about that. So it's a really good weekend for us.
Bradley Erickson victorious again here at Madera Speedway and extends his 5150 junior late model points lead.
Well, how about that, Outback Andy? Bradley Erickson's going to be your winner on Cale McClenny, Cole Brown, Jake Bowman, and Casey Klein, your top 5.
Yes, outside the top 5, Gabe McClenny, Brody Moore, Robbie Keneally, Cassidy Hines, Brody Armstrong, Kirsten Young, Haley Lyles, Ollie Clark.
6th was the 05 of Cade McClenny, then Brody Moore, Robbie Keneally, Cassie Hines, and Brody Armstrong, your top 10. Then Kersey Young, Haley Lyles, and Holly Clark. A career best 2nd place finish for Cale McClenny. He's standing by with Jason Galvin.
In round number 6, it was a career night for Cade McClenny, and tonight it's time for a little brother to step his way up here onto the podium. Cale, congratulations, a 2nd place run, and maybe the most impressive part of tonight, you had to hold off the 04 car over those final 3 laps. What was that experience like?
Really hard. I knew he was way faster than me, and I was just trying to really hold him off, try to get the 2nd place and get this podium.
Great job for you here tonight. You get to run up in the podium spots for most of this race. How much confidence does this give? You know, Outback and Steven talk about it a lot. We look at you as one of the little teams out here. You, your brother, your mom and dad do all the maintenance on these cars. You build these cars. It's not a high-dollar operation. And here you guys are out here now, week after week, competing for podiums. Feels like it's just a matter of time before one of you two picks up a victory in this. How much confidence does nights like round 6 and tonight give you and your family?
A lot, man. Feels amazing. My dad does a lot in these things. My brother, again, helping me a lot with this. Again, we don't have a bunch of money like some of these teams out here. 20-year-old car finishing 2nd. I'm pretty proud of that.
As you should be. Congratulations, Cale. A great run for you here tonight. I'm sure this is the first of many times that we'll see you up here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, how about the 07 of Cale McClenny in a 20-year-old car, coming home in 2nd on a razor-thin budget, and can't be more happy to see that. Very reminiscent of when Cade McClenny was on podiums fighting off people like Haley Deegan a couple years ago in this series. And a driver who's going to preserve 2nd in the standings after the misfortune for Kersey Young, a new track record, and a 3rd place finish for Cole Brown, who's standing by with Jason Galvin.
We'll be awarded passing points here at Madera Speedway. I think Cole Brown will probably come home with the most of them here tonight. Boy, rough night for you with the black flag early and having to come to pit road, lose that lap. But way to fight back up here onto the podium. What was that experience like, having to battle back on the lead lap and then pass all those cars in the last 20?
You know, it's sure something that I didn't want to do. We have this new rule for restarts because people have been playing games, and at the pit meeting, I didn't know how it was going to go. And racers don't freaking, I'm not going to give them half a car at the line just so that they can see it up top or whatnot, you know. I'm trying to be as polite as I can here, you know. I'm frustrated. It's like we're dead even at the line. Everybody can watch the live. I mean, it's just so frustrating, and I'm sorry that I'm frustrated, but I'm tired of it. I feel like, I don't want to be the one saying this, but I feel like Madera Speedway is freaking playing games, and they can be picking on fast guys sometimes, and I'm tired of it. So, sorry about my attitude, but that's the way I feel.
Certainly a frustrating thought here with the 3rd place finish for Cole Brown. He felt like he had a chance to win this one.
Well, interesting to hear the candor from Cole Brown, and maybe that fire and passion we heard from that driver, a newfound fire and passion, might light something underneath him, and he may be a driver to keep an eye on for the last 2 rounds this year.
Yes, it may. And an amazing story for all 3 of these podium cars. Bradley Erickson slamming the wall on the backstretch early in the race. Lucky to get away with that drive from 7th to 2nd for Cal McClenny, and the drive for the 0-4 from the back to the podium. Wow. These kids put in the hard drives tonight. They deserve to be in victory lane.
It's an exciting series. It's been an exciting 2020. Round number 7 in the books. 2 rounds left to go, and we can't wait to bring it all to you on MAV TV. On behalf of Kenny Shepard, Outback Andy Foster, Jason Galvin, and the entire Madera Racing on MAV TV crew, I'm Stephen Blakesley saying we'll see you at the races. And Outback, we're staying live for Short Track TV. We saw the pit boxes working their way across the track. It's almost Nut Up Pro Late Model time.
Yes, it is. Round number 7 of the Nut Up Pro Late Models, and we get these kids cleared away. Like I say, there's some great storylines from the juniors. Let's hope we get some great storylines tonight, too, from our Nut Up Pro Late Models. And the big story is the guy that has been a big mover and an improver in the late models. Sheldon Cooper will start on the pole tonight. We'll take a short commercial break, race fans, as we can bring you these free live streams courtesy of 5150, Nut Up, and of course Mission Foods. We're probably the only racetrack in the country that's bringing these free live streams to you. Hang around. 80 laps of pro late model racing coming our way.
Since 1977, Mission Foods has been creating fresh and authentic Mexican food products. Put some mission in your kitchen, race fans. As we like to say here at the Madera Speedway, support the brands that support our sport. I'm Kenny Shepard here on Madera Racing on MAV TV, and we would like to welcome Mission Foods on board here on the Madera Racing program. Too fast, too tasty. Make sure Mission is the choice you make the next time you're at the store.
Outback Andy, it's race time here at Madera.
Yes, it is.
Race fans, please support the brands that support our sport. Nut Up Industries and NutUp.com is the primary sponsor of these free live streams for our fans to enjoy. Please go to NutUp.com and enter the code MAVTV20 for a 20% discount on all of their great, healthy almond snacks. Please visit NutUp.com and support the brands that support our sport by entering MAVTV20 for a 20% discount to say thank you for this free live stream tonight.
Through the Race to Be Drug-Free campaign, we raise awareness about the harmful effects of drugs. We educate children both inside and outside of schools about staying off of drugs and out of trouble. We also have our Gloves Not Drugs boxing program, which allows kids between the ages of 8 and 18 to come learn the art of boxing and also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
They've taught me to become a role model to everyone else. Watch what I do when no one else is looking, do the right thing all the time.
It's been amazing. I really love the program. My favorite part is working with my team, my coaches. They made me who I am.
The program really motivates them to become a better person.
I've gotten better in school, more disciplined, and I've gotten better grades since I started this program.
Your teammates, they're not only your teammates, they're family,
Kids who could potentially be doing something bad with their lives, and they can turn it into something good and positive.
Thank you for this sport, and it helped me a lot.
Race fans, we invite you to visit the Carlos Vieira Foundation today. The foundation supports and champions causes like Race for Autism, Race to End the Stigma, and Race to Be Drug-Free. All the proceeds from 5150 energy drink and 5150 apparel sales benefit the Carlos Vieira Foundation. Please visit carlosvierafoundation.org to learn more about this wonderful organization.
The Knocking Doors Down autobiography by Carlos Vieira. It takes you deep into his destructive past and how racing saved his life and opened the door to give back to the community. And 100% of the sales go directly to the Carlos Vieira Foundation, an organization committed to raising awareness for addiction, mental health, and autism. And for inspiration and motivation, tune in weekly to the podcast every Thursday for real-life episodes from celebrities and local heroes. Get Knocking Doors Down today at kddmediacompany.com or Amazon.
Race teams and race fans, are you ready for the Race to Be Drug-Free Big 3 series at the Madera Speedway, featuring $75,000 of bonus money over and above the giant purses in play on July 25th, September 5th, and October 3rd. That's a $10,000 finale October 3rd. September 5th is $5,000 to win, and July 25th is $5,000 to win also. Race to Be Drug-Free Big 3 series coming to the Madera Speedway. Be there.
Well, an interesting discussion about the comments from Cole Brown up here in the booth, and it's difficult because when we look back at that, definitely the intention of the rules, Cole jumped that start from the new rules, but he gave a quarter panel to Bowman through most of that restart zone, if you will. But our goal is to have the leader be the first car to cross that line, and Brown did get that little run out of 4 and was able on the outside to beat Bowman back to the line, which is not what we want. And so Brown paid the price, but then he did a tremendous job out back, coming back through the field to run third. And I thought he handled himself pretty well with that interview as well, because I'm sure he was a bit frustrated, as he told us. And I hope everyone's enjoying this free live stream on ShortTrackTV. And we've got our Nut Up Pro Late models, a full field of them ready to battle for 80 laps. They're trying to put the race 2 weeks ago in the rearview mirror and focus on a big round 7 here tonight.
Yes, they are, Stephen Blakeslee. And, wow, if you look at the field tonight, it is crazy, this field tonight, how everybody stacks up. For the start, the top 10 went into the redraw. Unfortunately for last round winner, Ryan Philpott, he's going to start out of position 10 today. So, in fact, position 8. Lance Elliott will start out of position 10. And Jason Aguirre and Seth Wise on row number 6. That's kind of shocks me a little bit. But what doesn't shock me is this kid here being in the top 10 in qualifying and draw the pole in the BC Pizzas, Fantasy Decal, Fortney Towing, Hoosierville, number 89, Sheldon Cooper, and he leads the overall points at Madera Speedway. We have the TV show like tonight. We have a local late models like we will bring you next week. And we also have the overall championship for drivers at Rumbo Series. And right now, Sheldon Cooper is the leader of the overall series. So he's trying to win that championship. So we have 3 championships on the season, the local Madera Championship, the TV series, and the overall. And Sheldon Cooper, what a role he's been on the TV shows, Stephen Blakeslee. Consistent top 10s and another underdog. And we've just seen an underdog get second. Could we have another underdog on the podium tonight taking the bite out of the big dogs?
Yeah, we very well could. And want to thank everybody for tuning into our live stream. Remember, you're going to hear some MAV TV references. This is our MAV TV simulcast. That will be a tape delay broadcast that airs on Mondays on channel 214 on DirecTV, also on Charter Communications on 460, a lot of
420
other,
on Charter.
420, and a lot of other
1105 on AT&T.
You got it all down.
Yeah, I got them down.
So anyway, so you may hear some references to that. If you're just logging on, please comment with who you're rooting for here in our Pro Late Model race. If you're trying to follow the scoring and everything going on, you can do that at Race Monitor, and that's available online for free, race-monitor.com, or for a paid subscription, you can pull that up on your Android or your iPhone devices. Looked like Matt Hilliard was setting his ND filters as it's starting to get a little darker here. Darkness is starting to envelop the Madera Speedway. The lights are on, which that's good news, right? We had some problems with the lights here at Madera. Yep. And Kenny Shepard is down there doing his little intro.
In fact, last week we ran our local show in daylight hours because we couldn't turn the lights on. So we blew fuse on our lights last Friday. In fact, we had that issue where it blew some wiring out and did a lot of damage. So we had to run early last week. We were, in fact, this week, if we couldn't get the lights fixed, we were at risk of running a full daytime show today. But they were managed to repair that, and we are ready to go with a nighttime race. The sun is starting to set. You know what I say? Nighttime is the right time for racing.
So I wanted to give a lot of credit to these drivers. This series out back, as you know well, was traditionally once a month. And now with the COVID-19 pandemic, we didn't get round one in until the final week of June. So we've been on every other week so we can get all 9 episodes for the pros, all 9 episodes for the juniors delivered to MAV TV. And that is really tough on these race teams, especially the intensity level has been so sky high. And I am so impressed with the resiliency of these teams. I guess Tim Skoglund ran into an issue and he's not going to be able to start the race, but to have 19 pro late models with all the challenges this year, both personal with work and school and things going on with the virus, and then, of course, just the cost of racing every other week, I'm blown away by the quality of the field today.
Yeah, and that's a tough break losing Skoglund because Tim Skoglund was second to racing Jason Aguirre last Saturday afternoon and was looking really, really good. So it's unfortunate we lost a quality car in Tim Skoglund.
So let's take a moment to take a look. I just asked everybody at home who they're rooting for. So, Andy, who we got people rooting for right now? I see someone that wrote 81 over and over. Who else do we have below them?
We got someone rooting here for Joey East, Jason Aguirre, and Buddy Shepherd. Alan V. England, that is. Hey, if you join us too, let us know where you're from, who you're rooting for. We certainly want to know where you're from.
And I'm wondering what you're eating right now. I am having some of Dave Sabota's black grapes up here in the booth. What are you guys eating while we get ready for this main event?
Yeah, tell us what you're eating. Hopefully you're eating some fine products from Mission Foods. Make some nice tacos or burritos or some quesadillas. You come down to Andreas's restaurant there in Ceres on normally Tuesday night. We have a Mexican night, which we cook up some nice street tacos, those Mission street tacos with a bit of a we love the street tacos from Mission. They're a great product, and put in some carnitas, and love the carnitas. That's my favorite meat to put on the tacos, and we have some radish with it. We put some cilantro and onion on the top, and they're like true taco truck tacos.
Yeah, and I'm all about big burritos. I eat a Mission tortilla whole wheat burrito for lunch almost every day with black beans, brown rice, fresh avocado, sour cream, some salt and pepper, maybe some garlic powder in there.
Well, I wonder what this character eats. Wonder what he's eating down there. We could probably throw in some of those awesome nut up products. I think, he's drinking twisted tea.
I hope that Fearless Frank, his father, if you will, doesn't try to drink some twisted tea. But hopefully our drivers don't have enough mix-ups where Frank needs a twisted tea tonight. Hopefully it's a nice mellow evening for Fearless Frank.
He's probably been eating some nuts down there, some of those nut upside products. I like this the sea salt and caramel. Stephen Blakesy and Kenny Shepard, they like the sweet heat. Quan, who does our switching, bringing you this awesome telecast. Quan likes the Parmesan and garlic, I think, is the one he likes.
So we got someone eating stir fry tonight. Around the world, Mission makes food products that aren't just for traditional tortillas. They make flatbreads and things like that. Maybe some naan, some Mission naan with your stir fry.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I make some really good Indian food, and some nice Mission naan with the Indian food would go down really, really well.
We got someone eating barbecue steak and baked potato with a Coors Light, smoked tri-tip, chicken bacon wrapped jalapenos is going down. That's good stuff, of course.
Hello to where did I see this? I got to scroll up. Jamie Philpott. Hey, welcome along. Obviously rooting for the Rocket Ryan Philpott.
I'd be concerned if she wasn't.
Yep. Roger Ball's got nachos, grew up watching Madeira Under Lights. So glad that I can watch this from where I now live, streaming to San Francisco. Yeah, you know what? Love that town. Love that town. Great food in San Francisco. You go down to the Mission District and you can get some great food down in that district.
Zachary Miller from Ohio says he's not eating anything. Well, go get yourself some Skyline chili before we get started here.
Brian Retzlaff, what's going on, Kenny and Outback Andy? Well, what's going on right now is we had a awesome junior late model race, very, very exciting, with one of the underdogs taking a big bite out of the big teams and getting second. Now we have a nice field of full late models, the pro late models, and a mixture of crate motors and some built motors out there. We got a mixture of body styles. We got some Toyota Camrys, a couple of different model of Camrys out there. We got some Ford Fusions. We got some Chevrolets out there. We got that awesome pony down there, those Mustang body cars.
We got Larry. Larry's eating Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops. Oh, they're great. They're great.
Someone down there says he's in Houston, Texas, eating pizza. I did not know that pizza was a big thing in Texas, Andy. I guess pizza's big kind of everywhere you go, right?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a good pizza. Yeah, come at me with pizza anytime you like. You know, I'm a foodie, so you probably all gather that by now with the way I like my food. And yes, pizza, good pizza. I like mine as a thin crust. What about you, sir? You like the thicker crust or you like the thinner crust?
I like it when it's got sauce and cheese and toppings. I'll eat any of it.
Okay, but
I have no preference. If you got pizza for free, I will eat it.
If it's free, it's for me. It's Stephen Blakeslee. Yeah, I like the thinner base with a bit of crispy. And I tell you what, you also can make. I've made pizzas out of the Mission tortillas.
We've had commenters that have done that.
Yep.
Hey, Carla says they're having enchiladas. I hope they're using some corn Mission tortillas for that.
Yep.
As whenever Jason Galvin's ready, we're ready for him. So waiting for Jason Galvin to make his way to the front of the grid.
Rob Montoya, the second, is rooting for Buddy Shepard all the way in Minnesota.
So Jason Galvin is going to do his MAV TV stand-up for us down there with the jack of all trades, Zach Kohler, who is going to be doing the camera work, DJ Bullet Train, as he goes on Facebook. Look for his, I love his live streams of his DJ work. I wonder if Jason Galvin does any DJ work, as he's standing down there trackside with a full field of nut-up Pro Late models getting ready for our presentation for MAV TV.
As we get ready for round number 7 here in the 2020 season of the Nut Up Pro Late Models. You know, tonight is a bit of a unique night. Traditionally, the race held on this weekend is round 8, the penultimate race of the season. And of course, round 9 is always the $10,000 to win race, which brings out a lot of different competitors who don't run here year-round. It usually makes that race more about the win and the $10,000 than the championship title that's locked up on that night. So it's meant that this race in the past has traditionally been very important to the championship battle. How important? Think about the last 2 years. In 2019, it was Dylan Zampa who was trying to run down Austin Herzog in a championship battle, who had an incident early on. He was out of the race in the first 6 laps, lost a ton of points, essentially locked up the championship for Austin Herzog, the first of his career here at Madeira Speedway. Think back to 2018 when the roles were reversed and it was Herzog who ran into problems at this event, and that ultimately locked up a title for Matt Erickson in 2018 in the Nut Up Pro Late Model. So all that means tonight is really important for a driver like Ryan Philpott, who's second in points, coming off of his first win of the season and his second career win here in the Nut Up Pro Late Models. He's trying to run down Buddy Shepard, and he has to avoid the demons that have plagued the second place car in points on this night over the last few years. Now, of course, I mentioned traditionally this is the penultimate race. This year, there's still 2 more races to go because we have one more championship night race after the $10,000 to win, of course, because of the COVID-19 pandemic delaying this season. But it should be an exciting night of racing, and points certainly matter here as we're 2/3 of the way through the season. And round number 7's coming up next right here on MAV TV.
Something we've talked about off air quite a bit leading up to this is we figured out that the late September race has been a championship deciding race the last 2 years. Now, the one difference that you like to point out, Outback, is instead of this race being the penultimate round, we still have 2 rounds to go. But nonetheless, like Jason Galvin was talking about, 2 years ago, Austin Herzog had his championship hopes destroyed in a wreck with Ross Stramiska right at the end of the race. And then last year, Dylan Zampa, 15th place after a wreck, cost him a shot at the points. This round has proven to be very volatile for our pro late models, and we'll see if that trend continues this year.
Well, the China virus has certainly thrown a big log of wood between the wheels and jumbled everyone up. And, yeah, we're going to have the 10,000 win not being the final event. You've got to tippy toes through that 10,000 win if you're in the points battle, because you still have one more round weeks later to go. So everything for 2020 is weird, and this is just going to be something else that is strange and different for our drivers, how they manage it. Like I say, this was the round that we always say is probably the most important. As Larry Reynolds would say, don't beat yourself up. Right? That's the way. You can't beat yourself in this round. So tonight you've got to go into this round, the 10,000 win, and it can happen. So you need to maximize the points tonight as much as you can. Go into the 10,000 to win. Tippy toes through and see what you're going to do in that event, whether you're running straight up for the money or you're trying to points race or whatever you're doing. And then you've got one more round after the 10,000 to go shoot it out. So our season is going to be very, very exciting, and it's going to be very, very different, Stephen Blasey.
Well, the big thing tonight, there's not a whole lot of urgency for our points contenders because they've all made the redraw. So it's not like our race to be drug-free Big Three where we get a lot of wild card drivers. Tonight, this is kind of a lot of drivers that have a real good rapport and respect for each other. A lot of our stalwart drivers, if you will. And so I expect this to be and I hope for this to be a rather clean and green night tonight, get through the 80 laps, and then turn our full attention to the Nut Up Short Track Shootout. There is one wild card in the top 10, and we're going to talk more about this driver. And I think it's the first time we've ever had a driver here from Wyoming, and that would be Lance Elliott, who's going to drive the Collin Motorsports number 21 for Gary Collins out of Bakersfield. That car, a winning car at Irwindale this year in a $5,000 to win Pro Late model race back in February. And Lance Elliott going to start 10th tonight in the 21. Keep an eye on that Wyoming driver. We'll see how he goes.
Yeah, Wyoming driver probably tuning up for the 10,000 to win. That is going to be in 2 weeks, race fans. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for that. Next week, we got a big race next week, the Harvest Classic next week, Steve Blasey.
Driver from the Cowboy State.
Yep, the Cowboy State of Wyoming.
Yep.
Yep, he's going to have to giddy up tonight because there is some great competition out there. And let's see if he can lasso a few positions in this field. We'll see how that works out.
Kind of a fun fact on Wyoming, now that we're in the election season, if you will, they were one of the first states to allow women to vote. So they're known as the equality state, but there's no equality here. It's every man and woman for himself here at Madera, and he's got to go to work from spot number 10.
Yep, that's going to be a difficult task to do it from there, but it's been done before, so we'll hang tight and see how Lance Elliott goes in that 21 entry. As we get ready to bring these guys around, the big story of the night is Sheldon Cooper, who will start on the pole tonight for our 80-lap main event.
We're going to throw it down to Jason Galvin, who's standing by in turn 3 with our intro.
The last time the Nut Up Pro Late models were here at Madera Speedway, round number 6, it ended in calamity. In fact, you can still see the remnants up on the racetrack from the incident with Jeremy Doss and Carlos Vieira. Because of that late race restart, we have a new rule for restarts here starting tonight at Madera. Gone is the restart box in turns 3 and 4, instead replaced with these cones here in turn 3. When the leader gets to the cones, he can go. And the car next to him better not be the leader when they get to the start-finish line, or they're going to be penalized with a stop and go in the infield. It should drastically change the events of restarts here tonight for the rest of the season. Outback, Stephen?
factor tonight. It's round 7 of the Nut Up Pro Late Models. I'm Stephen Blakely, joined by Outback Andy Foster. Let's take a look at your starting grid, and on the front row, it'll be Sheldon Cooper and Blaine Rocha.
Row number 3, Buddy Shepard and Dylan Zampa.
Row 3, Joey East and Jake Bowman.
Row number 4, Austin Herzog and Ryan Philpott.
Row 5, Ross Termiska and Wyoming's Lance Elliott.
Row number 6, Jason Aguirre and Seth Wise.
Row 7, Glenn Cook and Lauren Papakoots.
Row number 8, Rick Thompson and Pete Soto.
And your final row, row 9, Jay Julesen and Eric Seeley. And we have 5 onboard cameras, including the 75 of Lauren Coots.
We have the 98 of Glenn Cook.
The 11 of Austin Herzog.
We have the 88 of Joey East.
And the 81 of Buddy Shepard. We got cameras all throughout the field.
And Stephen Blakely, Jake Bowman has strut problems and cannot make the race. So that will move everybody up on the outside line, forward 1 line. So Ryan Philpott will jump from 8th to 6th as we get ready for the start of this 80-lap Pro Late Model race, 50-lap first segment.
We're off and running that new restart, and Sheldon Cooper led him to the line as he should. How exciting is this to see Sheldon Cooper on the front row, but the Mustang galloping past him on the outside with that slingshot maneuver. Cooper fights back, but lap 1 to Blaine Rocha.
Yes, it's going to be lap 1 to Rocha, but Sheldon Cooper in that BC Pizzas Fantasy Deagle Fortney towing entry has done a great job as Buddy Shepard now gets to the outside as Sheldon Cooper qualified inside the top 10 and has had some consistent top 10 finishing positions. In fact, some top 5 finishing positions the last few races.
Blaine Rocha 4th in the points. Those were his first laps led this year, if you can believe that, for a former race winner here on MAV TV, and it might not be for long. He's got that new generation Toyota Camry of the 81 of Buddy Shepard, knifing to the inside, a driver with 3 wins this year. Trouble in turn 2, it's the 21. The driver out of Wyoming, the Equality State, Lance Elliott, facing the wrong way with a lot of damage on the right front. We'll see if that car might have to dip down to pit road. He may have done further damage to that right front on those rumble strips. We'll find out when we get back here on MAV TV. Well, we're only 3 laps into this 1 mile of racing, and the debut for the driver out of Wyoming didn't last very long.
No, and that has the telltale signs that he got into the back of someone or someone got sideways in front of him, and we'll try and pick up as the cars were all biased around position high in the MAV TV booth up here. We'll try and pick up if any of these cars have damage to the rear or the side of these cars and see who the 21 got involved with.
Well, what we've seen before when we've had incidents in that corner, we saw it earlier, Mike Beeler was one of the cars involved with a wreck earlier this year, is sometimes when you're spinning you get clipped. And so I wonder if he actually just didn't get clipped by someone that was driving past him as he spun as well. So also might want to look for some right side damage on one of these cars, maybe like the 87 of Seth Wise, who was tucked up right behind him.
We'll take a look as these cars, the crew, go to work on this car. Substantial damage. The big problem here is that you do have a big chance of pushing the radiator ducting back into the radiator. So when you're pulling this panel work up, you have to be very, very careful here, Stephen Blakely, that you don't do further damage or damage the radiator if it is undamaged.
Well, that's a very accomplished team that is helping him, the Collins Motorsports team. That was the team that Blaine Rocha drove for when he had his previous wins here on MAV TV. And also a driver out of Indiana, Cole Williams, has driven for this team and had a couple of big Pro Late Model wins, won a big race at Irwindale earlier this year. So that team has got a winning pedigree, and so none better to help you get it fixed up. Right there, probably as strong of a team as Nascimento as far as teams go. Ironically, they both use that 21 number.
Yes, they do. And there is damage to the side of the 45 at Jason Aguirre. There's some
Notice that.
tire marks on the side. I'm not sure if that's from previous weeks. Welcome back to Madeira Racing on MAV TV. Round number 7 of your 9-race season on MAV TV for our Nut Up Pro Late Models. Up front, Buddy Shepard, who is on the inside. He is not the leader. Blaine Rocha has chosen the outside. Row number 2 is Zampa and Sheldon Cooper. They are the fast 4 on the racetrack. New restart zone. Let's see how this plays out. Rocha perfectly in front of the 81 of Buddy Shepard. Good restart.
Remember on the initial start, Rocha had that real nice run out of turn 2. He does that again. So Rocha paces the points leader, Buddy Shepard. this is a big night for Dylan Zampa. He comes in tonight 5th in the points, and he would like a real strong run tonight. In fact, he's battling with Sheldon Cooper for that 5th in the points, and they're all under a blanket. You got 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th in the points all together on the racetrack.
How about this underfunded team with Sheldon Cooper round the outside of Zampa? We know how fast Dylan Zampa is, and we got Jason Aguirre parked in front of the Hampton Inn.
And we're staying green, Andy.
That's where I stay when I come to Madeira. I tell you, Hampton Inn. And we are staying green, and Aguirre will go to the pit area.
Well, Aguirre's down on the apron, hasn't yet pitted, and now he does. And what a race up front. Buddy Shepard is putting it all out there. He's not saving anything. Back to the Red Fury. And his eyes are like they're seeing red because he's driving awfully aggressively. Shepard to the inside of Blaine Rocha.
Was this the car I saw them have for sale, Stephen Blakesy? I believe at one stage this car was listed for sale, this Red 81 Fury. Fast and a Fury, as we say online on MAV TV. That's a Ford up against that Toyota Camry.
And we are only 8 laps into this. We have a 50-lap opening segment that leads into our Mission Racing Style Tortilla Chips halfway show. So at the line this time, they're still 41 to the break, but they're racing like it's for 10,000 to win right now as Sheldon Cooper is in the eye of the storm. You know, we've had all those hurricanes and storms across the south. Well, Sheldon Cooper's in the eye of the storm right now as he's got the champion, Austin Herzog, right behind him.
Yeah, he's in the eye of the storm in Central California here at Madeira Speedway. Sheldon Cooper, he gets such a good run out of turn number 2. That's a 51-50 turn, gets that big launch right out of there, and really impressive. This young kid, this is probably we talk about underfunded teams, we talk about low budget. This is almost a no budget team. This kid is running also for the Madeira Overall Championship. He's running the Madeira Late Model Series as well, and that combines with this championship for an overall, and he is leading that. So a great job, and it's been a great part of the year. We got trouble, the car on the wall.
It's turns 1 and 2, and it looks like the 88 at East might have blown up.
No, it's in front of East because there's the fluid.
So not sure what car it is. The red flags are out. They're all wedged together and trying to roll away. It's East, the 87 of Seth Wise, the 90 of Stramiska, and we're not sure, but it might have been the 11 of Austin Herzog or the 89 of Sheldon Cooper. We see Herzog is still rolling on the front straightaway. A disaster and a mess for all of these drivers, especially for Ross Stramiska, second in the points, or third in the points, I should say, and our safety crew is going to have a lot to clean up here on MAV TV.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen an incident like that in Turn 1. Let's go back a couple of years ago, Steve Blakesy. We had the 52 of Ryan Philpott destroy a motor coming over the line and dump fluid. We had a number of cars up in the wall. Very similar incident to this particular one. And Austin Herzog down there, it's like it's maybe from his car that the fluid is coming possibly.
And we're going to get a replay from the view that Matt Hilliard had. And we'll get that up here on the screen here on MAV TV and on ShortTrackTV.
That's not good for Stramiska with the...
So let's take a look at this. I was just going to tell everyone that's only the second race in the pros on that new 11 car of Austin Herzog.
There it goes.
Oh, that just was... There we go.
Yep.
Lots of... It's almost like it was gas just pouring out of the car. And everyone starts slipping and sliding in that really close battle right behind him. And, you know, I talked to Ross Stramiska earlier today, and he has been so consistent this year. He's been there at the finish virtually every race, and not today. And he was pretty frustrated today with the car. He's been real complimentary of his crew chief, Dave McGinnis, but they were really struggling today by Ross's account. And now they're really struggling because that nut-up short track shootout for $10,000 to win looms large. And you know, the way they're wedged up against the wall there, it's almost as if Seth Wise spun around backwards and collected the other two. And lots of damage on all 3 of those cars. I wonder if Joey East might be able to find a way to get back into this race. I don't think Seth Wise will.
Well, that's a clip on the back of Seth Wise's car, so that's not good. That is a definite clip. And look at this car. You see the rail is out this side, Stephen Blakesy. So that clip is over and up, so that is major damage, and I don't think Wise is going to be able to continue. And so too East. That car has substantial damage, and I'm not sure the Nate Clown Motorsports team will get that car back out. We'll wait and see. This will have large implications for our point standing.
Well, Sheldon Cooper was keeping Joey East and Austin Herzog at bay, and with East being the defending junior late model champion, Herzog the defending pro late model champion, and between Cooper, East, and Herzog, there were only 6 points across the three of them, and Cooper will distance himself from East and Herzog the way things stand right now. And Cooper still keeping Dylan Zampa in range within 22 points of Dylan Zampa. If Sheldon Cooper could get 5th in the points, that would be remarkable.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Russ Stremiska, he's going to lose a bunch of points.
Yeah, this may be the night where Stremiska officially falls out of the championship hunt. He came into tonight 62 points behind Shepard. That would be 31 positions. He'll probably surrender another 10 or 15 positions tonight. So he figures to leave tonight perhaps 100 points in arrears, and it only pays 50 to win, and we've only got 2 rounds to go. So this could effectively knock Stremiska out of the points and boost Blaine Rocha up to 3rd in the standings.
It's a radiator hose blew off the Herzog car. Wow, you see that the radiator hose is off. That flexi hose down there is off, and the crew member is going in there, and they'll try and attach that hose back on. But wow.
Yeah, how much does that part cost if you go over to 5 Star or Wilson Motorsports? Couple bucks, maybe?
Well, you got, $2 or $3 for a hose, each hose clamp, and looks like they're double hose clamping on there. So, yeah. So,
you can start adding some zeros to that $6 for the amount of damage done to all these drivers.
So you got $6 for a couple of hose clamps down there, but what that $6 has done in damage to other cars, and we hate to see it for people like Seth Wise because they're a team that just can't afford that kind of
We're
damage.
going to throw it down to Jason Galvin, who's going to be standing by with the Austin Herzog team.
The crew continuing to work away here on Austin Herzog's car as they try to get the water line reconnected there. Austin, did you have any warning at all that something was going to go?
No, I didn't. There was no signs from in here. I was just burying it in on the outside, and, it just felt like something blew up, or I didn't even really know it was me till my crew was yelling at me down the back stretch. So I think they're going to get it figured out. I think it just popped the hose off, and hopefully we have enough water to fill it back up.
It did just pop it looks like a radiator hose there off of the motor, and you're able to come in. You said it didn't feel any different to you, though. So it feels to you at least like if they can get water back in it, that you'll be able to go back out there and compete. You were having a great run.
Oh, yeah, this car is bad fast. We got it dialed in this weekend, and I think if we get this fixed, and I think we can drive back through the field and up to the front.
All right, that's a rough start here for your defending series champion. They've had such a rough run so far this year, and things were finally turning around for them here tonight, guys.
Stephen Lacey, I tell you what, Austin Herzog did an amazing job at keeping that car off the wall. When that car sailed down there, it was dropping fluid from the front of that car to the back wheels, and you see Austin Herzog sliding up. I don't know if he got a piece of the wall, but amazing job for him not to loop that car around.
So that was TJ from the crew down in there working on it, and Austin Herzog, like you said, he was a bit surprised by that, as just found out over the radio, hey, it's you. It is? I couldn't even tell. And, we had a question online about working on the car under red. The penalty is you go to the back. Well, I don't think, Herzog's going to go to the back anyhow. So
yeah, he was the cause of the restart anyway, so he would have started at the back. So this is not a huge penalty. They just got to get water into that car now without obviously doing any damage to the motors. We are red at Madeira. If you just joined us, we had an incident where this 11 car dropped the radiator hose off going into turn 1 and dropped all fluid all over the racetrack. And unfortunately for Ross Stremiska, Seth Wise, and Joey East, they ended up in there with one car in there backwards. And a lot of damage to those 3 cars. We're not sure they're going to make it back. Herzog is trying to make it back out on the racetrack. Wow, awesome action here from Madeira tonight. And great pit reporting by Jason Galvin. Brought to you by Mission Foods, Nut Up, and 5150.
So it's been a wild one, and it looks like Jason Galvin has caught up with Seth Wise. Moving up from the junior late models, a tough break for Wise. A couple of Bakersfield guys down there. Let's throw it down to Jason Galvin.
Career night for the Pro Series side of things for a longtime competitor in our junior late model, Seth Wise. Last round, you end up with a third place finish. Tonight, I know this is not how you wanted things to go. What did you see from your perspective?
We're all just rolling it on the high side. It was going pretty good, and then Joey spun, Stramiska spun all in front of me, and there I went. Couldn't do nothing about it. Gas was filled on the high side, and just nothing we could have done.
Have you had a chance? I know you guys are looking at the car. It's tough to tell right away. It looks very extensive. How much of it is cosmetic, or are you going to need a rear clip, especially with the short track shootout coming up?
It's really hard. We're a small team and don't have too many sponsors, but the ones we have help tremendously. But, we don't know without measurements and stuff like that. As you can tell, it looks pretty bad, but we're not sure.
We're glad you're all right.
Thank you.
Well, not much you can do when the track is covered in water.
Yeah, and that's a team that can't afford that kind of damage. Look at the clip on that car, Stephen Blakesley. Yeah, wow, a lot of damage. It's over to the right and also pushed all the way in. So that was a hard hit backwards into the wall for Seth Wise, just trying to navigate the turn. And we've seen this before, and Ross Stramiska, unfortunately for him, in the nut-up car. That's a big hit to the front of that car as well.
We saw them bringing a hose over to Herzog's car. He lost a lot of water out of that car.
Lost all the water, essentially, because that was a bottom hose. So everyone would have come out of that car. All the fluids would have drained right out of that motor. So and he had it running, so that water pump was still working and pushing water around. So it would have just pushed it all out. And the crew's going to work down there. They're trying to look at Stramiska's car. That's probably the sign of a front clip as well. Lost moving parts there, moving back and forth.
Well, one of the things that you always talk about, Andy, is if you wreck a car, you can't spend the time during the week making it better. You're just busy fixing it. And Stramiska was already pretty unhappy with his car going into the main event from what he told me in the pits earlier tonight. So they're not going to get a real good opportunity to improve on that car coming into the 10,000 to win short track shootout. And same for Seth Wise. Maybe.
Wise does not have a backup.
Well, and the same for Seth Wise, where all the improvement he had made week after week, since he's moved up to the pro lates, goes by the wayside now and all gets nullified because all they can do now is hopefully find a way to fix it. And so you're not getting better if you're just fixing things, right?
Yep, and here's the other problem for Herzog. You're trying to put cold water into a hot motor, and that does not work well. That's a good way to crack a head or lose a head gasket. So they're going to have to try and find a way of getting water into that. You see they are... They're trying to get water in here to that motor, so they're going to have to do is have Austin start the car up, and
that's what you hear right now.
Yeah, you hear that now, and they'll start that car and pour that water in. You just can't pour it in and then start it, because what it'll end up doing is, if there's any hot water in there, it'll just push it back straight up out, and you'll lose all the cold you put in.
Well, and in the case of the guys on the crew, they got to be a little bit careful too.
Yep. And they're trying to put a little bit of water in at a time so that this heats, you can see, they're just trying to put a little bit at a time. You don't want to pour it all in at once. Just trickle it in there. Let it mix with the water that's in there slowly. So we'll take a break while the Herzogs go to work on this Van Dorn number 11 and get some H2O into the system. And we'll be back with you with this free live stream brought to you by Nut Up 5150 and Mission Foods.
Since 1977, Mission Foods has been creating fresh and authentic Mexican food products. Put some mission in your kitchen, race fans. As we like to say here at the Madera Speedway, support the brands that support our sport. I'm Kenny Shepard here on Madera Racing on MAV TV, and we would like to welcome Mission Foods on board here on the Madera Racing program. Too fast, too tasty. Make sure Mission is the choice you make the next time you're at the store. Race fans, please support the brands that support our sport. NutUp Industries and NutUp.com is the primary sponsor of these free live streams for our fans to enjoy. Please go to NutUp.com and enter the code MAVTV20 for a 20% discount on all of their great, healthy almond snacks. Please visit NutUp.com and support the brands that support our sport by entering MAVTV20 for a 20% discount to say thank you for this free live stream tonight.
The Knocking Doors Down autobiography by Carlos Vieira. It takes you deep into his destructive past and how racing saved his life and opened the door to give back to the community. And 100% of the sales go directly to the Carlos Vieira Foundation, an organization committed to raising awareness for addiction, mental health, and autism. And for inspiration and motivation, tune in weekly to the podcast every Thursday for real-life episodes from celebrities and local heroes. Get Knocking Doors Down today at kddmediacompany.com or Amazon.
Hey race fans, are you a fan of grassroots racing? Would you like to see more content from behind the scenes at the Madera Speedway? If so, you need to check out our YouTube channel, ShortTrackTV. ShortTrackTV is where you will find the behind-the-scenes action with documentaries of the race car drivers, old race footage, and other exciting and fun content from the Madera Speedway. Go to ShortTrackTV and subscribe today and enjoy some more great content from the fastest 1/3 mile in the West, the Madera Speedway.
So did you bring them back? Welcome back to our Madera live stream as we get ready to go for the restart. Stephen Blakeslee will bring it back, race fans.
Welcome back to our NutUp Pro Lane Models, round 7 of 9 here for Madera Racing on MAV TV. We are still 38 laps for our Mission Racing Style Tortilla Chips halfway, but this one has been a duel between Blaine Rocha and the white 98. He is your leader on the outside of the 81 of Buddy Shepard. Remember, Shepard cannot beat him back to the line. A perfect restart. We're back underway.
Yes, it is a perfect restart, and that's what we're looking for. It is at the line, race fans. New procedure for our restarts here at Madera, and we are side by side out of turn number 4. Buddy Shepard starting to claw his way to the front of that 98 of Blaine Rocha. That's some great racing.
I've been real impressed by the way Blaine Rocha is getting out of turn 2. He's getting that run, but it looks like on this end of the racetrack, Shepard might have the business at the line. It was awfully close between those drivers. They give lap 14 to Blaine Rocha, also his best lap of the main event so far.
Yeah, Sheldon Cooper under pressure now from Glenn Cook. How about Glenn Cook and the 98 in the top 3? Blaine Rocha again leads the next lap. Stephen Blakeslee. Dylan Zamper is right in this battle too. He is right behind these two guys.
Doesn't have to force the issue as his pick of a line because he's got a 3-car length cushion to that battle you were describing for 4th. Looks like Rocha is going to outfox Buddy Shepard, and that's pretty darn impressive for the season that Buddy has had. 3 fast times, 3 wins, and Blaine Rocha is starting to get around him. Battling going on all over the racetrack, a pair of 3-car battles.
Yes, we got a pair of 3-car battles up the front. It's Rocha leading the 81 of Buddy Shepard. Here comes Dylan Zamper now, the Napa driver. And so you got a driver from Oakdale, California. You got a driver from Bakersfield and a driver from Napa, California up front. That's spreading it out around the state here.
Well, it was interesting that Buddy Shepard fell back and then suddenly he reappeared, like as if that pressure from Dylan Zampa put the pressure on Buddy Shepard, because now he's sideways out of turn 4, fighting for position here on lap 19. and he's not going down in that Finnish Masters. Exalta's number 81 driving for the Eshelman team. Great stuff here at Madeira.
Yeah, Buddy has been good down in 1 and 2, but Rocha has been fast out of 4, and that is a Rocha again over the line. You know, it looks like going down the back that Buddy would clear him and get going, but Rocha, look now, we're going into turn 3 here, Steve Lacey. Look at Rocha, look at the drive he gets out of turn number 4. Bang, again.
His corner exit is really good. Buddy Shepard's corner entry is real good because he's on the bottom. That's the shorter way around. So you expect the bottom to be better on corner entry, but that momentum that Rocha's getting on the exit is hard to beat.
I tell you what, we got the 92 in there, Dylan Zamba. Don't take Antling out of this as what's going on up front with Dylan Zamba. We don't know how good Dylan is yet, although now he's coming underneath Buddy Shepard, so we understand he's pretty good. But he's just back there, I believe, pacing himself in third. He's not pushing the issue in that 92 car. He's just rolling around, letting these guys go. He knows it's a long, long race, this 80-lap race.
Buddy's car came to life on the top when he tucked in behind Blaine Rocha. He dives to the inside here on lap 24. We're a lap shy from halfway to the break, and they're side by side again. They're going to see lap 25, and what a race. And Flaggy Frank is having to show the warning to the 5.
New race leader, and it's Buddy Shepard now, the new race leader. So we're going to take a look at the running order. It's Buddy Shepard, Blaine Rocha, Dylan Zamba, Glenn Cook, and Sheldon Cooper. Round out your top 5 as they are now coming past the number 5 entry
of Eric Seeley.
Yes, Eric Seeley.
And so Seeley gave him lots of room. Crossover here from Rocha. You could see him working the steering wheel. A dynamic battle. Love these new generation bodies. The Camry versus the Mustang. Shepard's got it for sure. He clears him on lap 27.
Yes, lap 27. Buddy Shepard clears him and gets going. Maybe Rocha has burnt the tires off that 98 entry because he is falling back. That Mustang has now 3 car lengths to Buddy Shepard. So it was really dropped back in like 2 laps, Stephen Lacey. He's lost 3 car lengths.
Whoa, the way Shepard got off of turn 4 that last time around was special. And, you know, it seems like it wasn't a matter of whose car was better. It was a matter of the bottom just wasn't as good as the top. And the minute Shepard got upstairs, he got the momentum and away he went. What a drive so far from another fearless driver. We used to call him the master of disaster, Glenn Cook. 4th place right now, Andy.
4th place, and that's been a great run for Glenn Cook.
And he'll pick up some points
tonight. He'll pick up some points tonight, I believe. So Glenn Cook, the veteran. Glenn sort of kind of struggled, had an accident down in turn 1 where he broke his wrist. Kind of since he returned, he's really struggled, had a couple other incidents with that 98 car, really struggled. But tonight, this is the first time we've seen Glenn Cook really up there challenging inside the top 5.
So Glenn Cook from 10th on the points, Sheldon Cooper 6th in the points, the sensation of the season, and the drivers he's battling, Joey East, Dylan Zampa, Austin Herzog. Well, he's ahead of East and Herzog right now on the racetrack, and of course, what a run this year from the BC's Pizza crew.
Yeah, the brakes are glowing red on the 89, and right behind Sheldon Cooper, well, about 3 car lengths behind, that's the Hacienda Paul's Philpott race cars. That's the 52 of Ryan Philpott, the former Aldermont late model champion. So, and he won the last round, of course.
Yeah, he won that race, came into tonight 48 points behind Buddy Shepard, gave up a few points in qualifying, and right now, outside the top 5, he'll give up a few more if this is the way they run into the break. He's starting to see the championship slip away a little bit. He may be as far as over 50 points out of the lead coming into the break. So he needs to try to get to the top 5. And how about the 11 of Austin Herzog? Had that issue earlier. The team worked on that car. If that car looks familiar, that is his Southwest Tour car where he ran 2nd here at Madeira back in June of 2019. And they've got that Van Dorn back up to P7. Kind of a lonely race right now for Austin Herzog.
Yeah, Austin Herzog, lonely race. Like you say, he's got past the back markers and he's just running them down. So a long, long way back right now. Looks like he is about 6 seconds off the lead.
And this is an entertaining battle. Jay Juleson, who's a rookie to the Pro Late Models, and Pete Soto, a rookie to Late Models out of the Legends cars. And they're battling for 8th on the racetrack, Andy.
Yeah, this is a better run from the Zone Up 12. Jay Johnson. Johnson has really struggled with this car this year. moved over from Ericsson's. This is a car that they purchased, and moved over to the Meads, and they just really struggled to get a handle on this car for Jorgensen. And I think it's that the car is totally different, and Jay's going to have to change his driving style. And there's been a lot of talk about the way he drives this car. But tonight, this car looks a lot better on the racetrack.
And
tonight.
for Pete Soto, we've seen a lot of Legends car drivers do well in late models. And he's really stepped up in that sister car from Jason Gilbert's team. Car used to be driven by Ken Benamou. We just talked about Austin Herzog from 7th. And I wonder if he didn't overheat the car and whatever little bit of water they got in it is already burned out.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be some sort of overheating problem, because they're not even going to work on this car. Austin's pulled it straight to the boneyard over the back.
And
so tough break for Austin Herzog, and that's going to be a big hit in his points battle too tonight for Austin Herzog.
Yep, lap number 42 of round 7 will be the night that his very desperate chance at a championship for 2020 is absolutely out the window now. And the question is, how hard is Buddy Shepard hustling that red Fury chassis of the Eshelman High Performance team? Because Blaine Rocha has kept him within arm's length on the last go-around. Their lap times were virtually identical. Buddy at a 15.254, Blaine Rocha a 2.63. That's almost only 9 1,000ths different. They're keeping each other at arm's length right now.
Yeah, I don't think Buddy, I think Buddy will just play it safe. I don't think he wants to overextend the car. We've only got 5 laps to go to the break 4 at the line this time for Buddy Shepard for the halfway break, and we're making rapid time of this. Had it not been for that red where Austin Herzog blew the radiator hose, we would have just about ran this thing clean and green all the way through.
Well, there's only been one other championship in this series I can recall where a driver used multiple cars. And that was Austin Herzog last year. He had the green car and the red car. And in the case of Buddy Shepard, a black car and a red car. And it seems like these guys that are strong have a lot of bullets in their arsenal.
Hey, take a look if we get a shot up in turns 3 and 4 here in a minute. I'm not sure we're going to. There's an enthralling battle between Sheldon Cooper and Ryan Philpott for that 5th and 6th as Pete Soto and Johnson go at it. The checker flag is about to come out here for Buddy Shepard in a minute.
Yeah, he's still got one more third of a mile to go, and he's got a front row seat for this battle between these drivers for 7th on the racetrack. So he's going to have a great view of that. He's going to pace himself, and Buddy Shepard is going to lead them into the Mission Racing Style Tortilla Chips halfway break here on lap number 50 on Blaine Rocha and Dylan Zampa.
Oh, check out that battle. Sheldon Cooper just got that battle for 5th over Ryan Philpott. Glenn Cook was 4th. Dylan Zampa was 3rd. Race fans, when we get back from break, Jason Galvin will be down there in the pit area, our short pit area. The guys will take a break, and we'll be back with 30 fast and furious laps of this event once Jason Galvin has talked to some very happy drivers in the top 5 tonight.
Since 1977, Mission Foods has been creating fresh and authentic Mexican food products. Put some mission in your kitchen, race fans. As we like to say here at the Madera Speedway, support the brands that support our sport. I'm Kenny Shepard here on Madera Racing on MAB TV, and we would like to welcome Mission Foods on board here on the Madera Racing program. Too fast, too tasty. Make sure Mission is the choice you make the next time you're at the store.
Outback Andy, it's race time here at Madera.
Yes, it is.
Race fans, please support the brands that support our sport. NutUp Industries and NutUp.com is the primary sponsor of these free live streams for our fans to enjoy. Please go to NutUp.com and enter the code MAVTV20 for a 20% discount on all of their great, healthy almond snacks. Please visit NutUp.com and support the brands that support our sport by entering MAVTV20 for a 20% discount to say thank you for this free live stream tonight.
Through the Race to Be Drug-Free campaign, we raise awareness about the harmful effects of drugs. We educate children both inside and outside of schools about staying off of drugs and out of trouble. We also have our Gloves Not Drugs boxing program, which allows kids between the ages of 8 and 18 to come learn the art of boxing and also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
They've taught me to become a role model to everyone else. Watch what I do when no one else is looking, do the right thing all the time.
It's been amazing. I really love the program. My favorite part is working with my team, my coaches. They made me who I am.
The program really motivates them to become a better person.
I've gotten better in school, more disciplined, and I've gotten better grades since I started this program.
Your teammates, they're not only your teammates, they're family,
Kids who could potentially be doing something bad with their lives, and they can turn it into something good and positive.
Thank you for this sport, and it helped me a lot.
Welcome back to Madera Racing on MAV TV. We're in the Mission Racing Style Tortilla Chips Halfway Show. For the NutUp Pro Late Models round number 7, it's been a consistent and strong season for Buddy Shepard. He's your race leader. He's standing by with Jason Galvin.
What an intense battle it was between Buddy Shepard and Blaine Rocha early on in this race, Buddy, for 26 laps. You two went back and forth, it seemed like. Finally, you were able to make the bottom line work. I think that surprised a lot of us. How much did it surprise you that you were able to make that move?
Yeah, there before that second yellow we got, I could see he was really fighting for drive off. I knew we could really roll in and get off a little bit better than him. We're still fighting for drive off ourselves. So, we ran side by side there for a long time. I seen that 92 coming. He was at my door a couple of times. I knew how to make something happen. So then we finally got lucky, finally got that lap car in, and then made a little side job move there. But definitely got to thank all these Eshelman Racing guys, Matt, Jeff, and Dave. I'm glad Dave's here this weekend, so it's all good. So, and Exaltus Finish Masters, Shavers Racing Oil, Pit Boss, Chafee College, just everyone that's behind us on this thing, and we're really excited about tonight.
Guys, I just want to show you real quick because I think this is cool. Look at Buddy Shepard's mask here. Strides for CJD. That's in memory of longtime Bakersfield Mayor Harvey Hall, who passed away from CJD a couple years ago. Harvey was a longtime supporter not only of Buddy, but of his father Dickie down in Bakersfield as well.
Well, and Buddy said what I believed to be true, that pressure from the 92 at Dylan Zampa was a big impetus for Buddy to finally get the pass done and get going, because he knew that Buddy Shepard was going to have company from Dylan Zampa. This will be interesting. I wonder what Blaine Rocha has in the tank with some adjustments for this upcoming restart, and we'll find out now as he stands by with Jason Galvin.
It feels like all season Blaine Rocha has kind of had bad luck with the redraw and having to come through the field. Tonight, the roles reversed a little bit. You got to start up front, led a bunch of laps early on, and then Buddy was able to get around you there. What type of changes do you need to make to this race car to get up there and challenge for the win?
Yeah, we're going to do a few adjustments. I'm just a little bit too free in the center. I got to be real easy with the steering wheel. It's hard to be aggressive up there with Buddy, but I held him off for a while, and I felt like there at the end we kind of pretty much stayed even, might have gained a little bit, but we did a few changes on the right rear. I think that's going to help us, and we'll get a good restart here, and we'll see what's going on.
All right, Blaine Rocha sits in second place right now. He'll try to go challenge Buddy Shepard for a win.
And Blaine Rocha with some adjustments on the right rear, trying to tighten that car up just a little bit on corner exit to see if he has something for Buddy Shepard. A driver who will be really interested with how these drivers work themselves out, how they'll line up on the front row, is the third place car of Dylan Zampa, and he doesn't know yet who will be in front of him, whether it'll be Rocha or Buddy Shepard. We're going to find out his thoughts from third place as he stands by with Jason Galvin.
Dylan Zampa just walking away from actually helping his crew with the right rear of this race car. Looks like you have a little bit of damage down there. When did that occur?
Me and Austin were racing side by side. I kind of got up into him a little bit, just hard racing, nothing intentional. But car's going really good. It takes a couple laps to come in, but once it comes in, the car's fast. I went to the bottom, on the 98, and I got free off the corner, and I lost a whole bunch, and then I couldn't catch back up to him because we're just so even. The top 3 right now are just so close. It's just going to be a really close battle, I think.
There was a time when you were able to actually get up next to Buddy Shepard when Buddy was stuck on the inside there. Are there any regrets from not being able to hang on up there and keep the 81 pinch down?
Yeah, my spotter was telling me to try to run the bottom to see what was going to be there for later in the run. But once I went back up there to run behind the 98, I caught him, and then my spotter was like, try to run the bottom to see if it's there again. So I went back down there, and the car got free coming off the corner, and I lost a whole bunch. So we're going to try to make an adjustment to get some bite off the corner and hopefully get by him.
Not many people have been able to run with Buddy Shepard this year, but Dylan Zampa's got a victory over that 81 car already. He'll try to go get number 2 here tonight.
Well, it sounds like Dylan Zampa's got a great car until it comes time to make a passing maneuver, and then the car gets a little bit loose on the bottom with a car up on the outside, and that's the difficulty with the setup on these Nut Up Pro late models. How about this? What a run by the 98 car of Glenn Cook. So cool to see this driver in the top 5. Can't wait to hear this interview with Jason Galvin.
Well, it's great to see the 98 car, Glenn Cook, up here. 4th place at the break. A great run for you so far. Seems like you've got a pretty racy race car tonight.
Yeah, finally. I mean, we've had a pretty tough year. Last couple races, we've been getting a little bit better. And tonight it seems like we got pretty close. Still a little loose, but it's a lot better than it's been in the past.
I could tell just the emotion. We're all wearing masks, right? But you can tell just how happy you are here to be at the lap 50 break and be up here in the 4th spot. What do you have for these young guns up here in front of you?
I don't know, just wear them out. I'm the old guy, so just wear them out and wait until the end. I'm kind of diamonding the turns, and I think I was catching them there a little bit towards the end, so I'm going to get that diamond down a little bit better and see what I can do.
See if the veteran savvy of Glenn Cook can get up there and spoil the podium here tonight.
Well, that diamond maneuver has been something we've noticed as the line has moved higher and higher, and Glenn Cook said he was starting to get that down. One thing that helped Glenn Cook distance himself was that whale of a battle going on behind him for the 5th spot between Sheldon Cooper and Ryan Philpott. It was Cooper that got the best of Philpott for now, and he'll give us more insight on that with Jason Galvin.
Sheldon Cooper just walked up to me and said, I'm not used to this. I don't know, it's starting to become a more frequent occurrence with you and this 89 car up here in the top 5. You're able to battle for the lead there early on. Seemed like it kind of fell back, and then maybe things were coming back to you there towards the end of that run.
Yeah, the car got a little loose. We made a lot of adjustments to get this car to turn, and I think we found something. We just got to go back a little bit more and tighten it back up. The guys, we had a lot of problems, from last weekend, and there's nothing better to go out and hopefully, got a wind stolen from me last weekend, so hopefully come back this weekend and have a good, strong finish. This is my fastest time so far ever. We're starting on the pole, we started on the pole, so couldn't thank all my sponsors, everybody that stand behind me, all the support, everybody that helped through the week, donations all week long. You guys are all awesome, and I can't even tell you guys how much it means to me.
Sheldon Cooper has really come on strong here in the second half of this season.
Well, it's so interesting. This is one of the only tracks where you hear about guys tighten up their cars as the night falls on the racetrack, but that's what we see here at the Madera Speedway. A lot of guys fighting a loose condition on the gas in the middle of the corner. They're going to tighten them up. They're going to get them all set, and we are going to race for 30 more laps here in round number 7 of the Nut Up Pro Late Models after this here on Madera Racing on MAV TV.
Since 1977, Mission Foods has been creating fresh and authentic Mexican food products. Put some mission in your kitchen, race fans. As we like to say here at the Madera Speedway, support the brands that support our sport. I'm Kenny Shepard here on Madera Racing on MAV TV, and we would like to welcome Mission Foods on board here on the Madera Racing program. Too fast, too tasty. Make sure Mission is the choice you make the next time you're at the store.
Outback Andy, it's race time here at Madera.
Yes, it is.
Race fans, please support the brands that support our sport. NutUp Industries and NutUp.com is the primary sponsor of these free live streams for our fans to enjoy. Please go to NutUp.com and enter the code MAVTV20 for a 20% discount on all of their great, healthy almond snacks. Please visit NutUp.com and support the brands that support our sport by entering MAVTV20 for a 20% discount to say thank you for this free live stream tonight.
Through the Race to Be Drug-Free campaign, we raise awareness about the harmful effects of drugs. We educate children both inside and outside of schools about staying off of drugs and out of trouble. We also have our Gloves Not Drugs boxing program, which allows kids between the ages of 8 and 18 to come learn the art of boxing and also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
They've taught me to become a role model to everyone else. Watch what I do when no one else is looking, do the right thing all the time.
It's been amazing. I really love the program. My favorite part is working with my team, my coaches. You know, they made me who I am.
The program really motivates them to become a better person.
I've gotten better in school, more discipline, and I've gotten better grades since I started this program.
Your teammates, they're not only your teammates, they're family, you know.
Kids who could potentially be doing something bad with their lives, and they can turn it into something good and positive.
Thank you for this sport, and it helped me a lot.
Race fans, we invite you to visit the Carlos Vieira Foundation today. The foundation supports and champions causes like Race for Autism, Race to End the Stigma, and Race to Be Drug-Free. All the proceeds from 5150 energy drink and 5150 apparel sales benefit the Carlos Vieira Foundation. Please visit carlosvierafoundation.org to learn more about this wonderful organization.
The Knocking Doors Down autobiography by Carlos Vieira. It takes you deep into his destructive past and how racing saved his life and opened the door to give back to the community. And 100% of the sales go directly to the Carlos Vieira Foundation, an organization committed to raising awareness for addiction, mental health, and autism. And for inspiration and motivation, tune in weekly to the podcast every Thursday for real-life episodes from celebrities and local heroes. Get Knocking Doors Down today at kddmediacompany.com or Amazon.
Race teams and race fans, are you ready for the Race to Be Drug-Free Big 3 series at the Madera Speedway, featuring $75,000 of bonus money over and above the giant purses in play on July 25th, September 5th, and October 3rd. That's a $10,000 finale October 3rd. September 5th is $5,000 to win, and July 25th is $5,000 to win also. Race to Be Drug-Free Big 3 series coming to the Madera Speedway. Be there.
How about our cameraman down there, Zach? He's a hard-working character. He is. Flies airplanes. The other week he flew airplanes before he got here. He was out here. Waving the flag. He was out there sweeping down the track when there was some damage. Hey, down there, Zach. We got some food down there and a little bit to drink down there. Our hard-working cameraman, you'll see him in Victory Lane and down in Turn 3.
What is that, a Baltimore Ravens hat? What is that?
Not sure.
That must have been a destination he flew to or something. He's got green tea. That is definitely not 5150 he's drinking down there.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in on live stream. We've got some people commenting down here. Beverly Tyler, good job, Sheldon. You and Philpott, go get them. That's a good battle between those two guys. They're going to be starting on row number 3, side by side. Amy Rotella online as well. It's good to see Amy and Maria Rotella.
Good to see my friend Jeff Tilsher on there. He used to be a camera guy here. DC Long says, too bad they shut down Myrtle Beach and he lost his ride because of that. Yeah, it was a real shame to see Myrtle Beach close. I would have loved to have seen that racetrack.
Hey, quickly here, Sterling Baker, you can't work on the car if there's a red flag. Yes, you can work on the car during the break at the red flag.
Yeah, Jeremy Davis already pulled up that rule, so we're good to go there.
Welcome back to Madera Racing on MAV TV, round number 7 of 9 of 2020. It's Buddy Shepard, the leader of the pack. He's picked the outside for this start, Stephen Blasey, so we'll see how he goes. He will be the leader into the box.
And somebody sounds a little evil out there. We'll see who that is. Almost sound like a V6 running with V8s. Like somebody dropped a cylinder perhaps. We're off and running. And Buddy Shepard, a thundering restart, leaving no doubters. And the big run is coming from the master of disaster, Glenn Cook, to the outside of Dylan Zampa for third.
Yes, Glenn Cook's gone upstairs. This is good to see that Cook Roofing car. We've seen Glenn in a podium position before, so love to see him get back there. Of course, he's got the car behind him, the 52. Another old Altamont racer. Of course, a couple of champions from Altamont days running in there together on the racetrack, and they've got that young Napa driver, Dylan Zampa, that they're trying to deal with.
Well, of course, Glenn Cook up in the Mariposa area, and hope everyone's doing okay up there from all the fires. And somebody's on fire. It's Glenn Cook as he takes over third. Incredible stuff. He clears him. Incredible. Almost bounced the wall there. He got a bit loose, and Zampa's happy to try to pounce on it. Great stuff here at Madera.
Yeah, you got a young driver up against a wily old veteran down here. Cook the veteran. Dylan Zampa, second-generation driver, doing a great job in that 92, but Cook now up to third. So Cook is really putting in a good run tonight. Like we said, Glenn's been missing in action for a little bit since he broke his wrist down in turn one in an accident a couple of years ago. Great to see it. Sheldon Cooper, well, Sheldon's still hanging tough, and he's in sixth position on the racetrack.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's been overhauled by the 52 Orion Philpott. So here we are, clicking off the laps rather quickly. 56 down for Shepard, Rocha, Cook, Zampa, and Philpott, your top five. Zampa trying to come back at Glenn Cook for third. In a nice ride, turn number 3, they go side by side again.
Yeah, it's a nice ride for Glenn Cook up on the high line. He really gets that big run out of the turn. See, go out of turn 2. Glenn Cook just pulls a car length on the 92. They were side by side in 1, and Glenn just gets up around him, then they get out of turn 2, and he's gone. Same thing out of 4 as well.
Glenn Cook started 13th. So he's, without a doubt, our biggest mover. He's picked up 10 positions in this one. Pete Soto and Jay Julesen have each picked up about 8 or 9 positions. And up front, Buddy Shepard is running qualifying laps as he has clicked off. He just ran a 15.022 in race trim. He ran a 14.907 just 5 laps ago.
Yeah, that was the third lap after the break. So Buddy just took a couple of laps to get the heat into the tires, and then just fires off a lazy lap. That's fast time for the race.
Well, and that lap time is the second fastest lap of the whole day, including qualifying. Within 4 100ths of his qualifying lap. He's just running qualifying laps, having a great run.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Glenn Cook, I'm not sure what Glenn's qualifying time was. We'll try and take a look at that. Was a 15.095. So Glenn got in the zeros today. That was a good deal. And you're getting in the zeros, yet you're still starting back in 13th position. Those zeros used to get you the pole.
Yeah, this was a very fast field. Like you said, Cook was the lowest car on the totem pole in the zeros, but you know that difference from Shepard to Cook was only 0.2, and 0.2 put him 13th. As Shepard and Rocha in a class of their own. This race for third is going to captivate our TV audiences because they continue to battle 4 cars deep. There's Buddy Shepard, 4 fast times this year in 7 events, and he's trying to get his 4th win in 7 events. That's a pretty sterling season for Buddy Shepard.
Yeah, I'm loving that battle off camera in third as we see Buddy Shepard in the 81 car, the Eshelman Motorsports car. And this is the car that they put up for sale, and they were running the black car for a while, and they bought this red rocket back, and it is really a red rocket tonight. It's just right from qualifying, practice, all the way through. This is just classic Buddy Shepard at Madera.
Well, we've never had a 3-time TV champion. Of course, Matt Erickson, a 2-time champion. Buddy Shepard, a 2-time champion. Buddy trying to be the first 3-time champion in our MAV TV televised series.
Now, that's pretty impressive, but I'm going to give you a more impressive stat than that. Of the years that Buddy has run for the championship, that has been 2 years that he's run for a championship. On those years, he's bagged a championship. This is the 3rd year that he's run for a championship. The other years that he did not win, he did not run the full season. So if he wins this season, That's 3 attempts for 3 championships, and that is a big stat, and he is piling up like the most winningest driver in the TV series. We know Matt Erickson is overall of late models at Madeira, but Buddy Shepard is going up that leaderboard and nabbing away. We've got 10 to go here, Stephen, from Frank.
Yeah, I can't believe how fast-paced the second half of this race has been, and it probably has felt like a blur for these guys as they've been engaged in this incredible battle. Glenn Cook and Dylan Zampa continue to duel for third. Philpott with the front row seat for it, but just hasn't been able to do anything. There's Buddy Shepard, and then we're going to get to see the gap back to Blaine Rocha behind him as he put a lap on Rick Thompson. There's Rocha looming back there, and it is all the way to 2.5 seconds now between the top two.
Yes, it is, and it's a sizable difference. You'll see it. There's Buddy, and there's Rocha just coming past the mission sign, and Buddy was way up by the 5150 sign. And that battle for the third spot on the racetrack is still continuing. That's the 98. That's that Ford Mustang of Blaine Rocha, the Oakdale racer.
So Rocha's going to leave third in the points, and he will be very close on Ryan Philpott because he's going to gain another 6 points on Philpott. So they will be only about 15 points apart after tonight in the battle for second in the standings.
Rick Thompson about to go a lap down on Rocha.
Whoa.
Look at this battle for third. Dylan Zampa now trying to get to the inside. As announcers, we try and be impartial, but there's sometimes you just got to get down there, root for someone like Glenn Cook, who's had a rough run of it lately. He's a former podium driver and a former champion at Aldermont, and of course you and I spent a lot of time at Aldermont. So too Ryan Philpott calling that year of the championship. So kind of special to call these guys, but that is a great battle, and Dylan Zampa is just a straight-out talent. And when you've got these guys running, a couple of old veterans against the talent.
3 more laps, 1 more mile of racing. It'll be 2 to go at the line as they come up on the battle between Juleson and Soto for spot number 7.
That's been going on for probably about 60 laps, that battle. That's been a good battle all night long between those
This
guys.
battle for third, we heard at the halfway, the biggest problem for Zampa is he gets too loose when he's on the bottom. He's still fighting that problem. They weren't able to dial that in, so he's got a real good car on the top, but making a pass is proving difficult as fearless Frank McBee is showing the white flag over this field. Buddy Shepard's going to win as he crosses under the checkered flags from Frank McBee. Second's going to be Blaine Rocha. Who's going to get third?
Well, it's a big battle. Here comes Dylan Zampa making one last charge, but it won't be enough. Glenn Cook, the veteran, gets home third by Glenn Cook, and then followed by Ryan Philpott in the 5th position. Sheldon Cooper, a solid 6. Pete Soto, Jay Julinson, Rick Thompson, they are the cars left on the racetrack tonight. But congratulations going to Bakersfield's Buddy Shepard. Stephen Lacey, when we return, we will see Jason Galvin in victory lane with a very, very happy Buddy Shepard tonight.
Race fans, we invite you to visit the Carlos Vieira Foundation today. The foundation supports and champions causes like Race for Autism, Race to End the Stigma, and Race to Be Drug-Free. All the proceeds from 5150 energy drink and 5150 apparel sales benefit the Carlos Vieira Foundation. Please visit carlosvierafoundation.org to learn more about this wonderful organization.
The Knockin' Doors Down autobiography by Carlos Vieira. It takes you deep into his destructive past and how racing saved his life and opened the door to give back to the community. And 100% of the sales go directly to the Carlos Vieira Foundation, an organization committed to raising awareness for addiction, mental health, and autism. And for inspiration and motivation, tune in weekly to the podcast every Thursday for real-life episodes from celebrities and local heroes. Get Knockin' Doors Down today at kddmediacompany.com or Amazon.
Race teams and race fans, are you ready for the Race to Be Drug-Free Big 3 series at the Madeira Speedway, featuring $75,000 of bonus money over and above the giant purses in play on July 25th, September 5th, and October 3rd. That's a $10,000 finale October 3rd. September 5th is $5,000 to win, and July 25th is $5,000 to win also. Race to be drug-free Big 3 Series coming to the Madera Speedway. Be there.
Well, we're going to have a pair of 98 cars on the podium following Buddy Shepard after his 4th Nut Up Pro Late Model win of 2020, and by our records, his 13th televised late model win from the Madera Speedway in only 3 full-time campaigns. The driver is standing by, and we're going to hear from him with Jason Galvin in just a moment.
When you're a 2-time champion of a series, it's kind of hard to say that it's a career year, but this might be the best one yet for Bakersfield's Buddy Shepard as he comes home with the win once again, the 4th time and the 13th time in his career here at Madera Speedway. Buddy, congratulations. Just a simply dominant run for this 81 car tonight. What is it about this team that's made you guys so hard to beat here in 2020?
I think just consistency. You know, we unloaded with a pretty good baseline off the trailer, and we just kind of tune on it. And we made some pretty big swings this weekend. We were a little off the trailer. We haven't ran this car in a couple of weeks, so kind of had to catch up to the track a little bit with this car. But we made really good gains all weekend, and the halfway break was probably the biggest gain we made all week. So definitely good stuff to take in the notes and put in for the 10,000 win race here in 2 weeks.
This is one of 2 cars you've now run with and won with here in 2020. When you think about that, all the wins you've racked up this year, doing it in 2 different race cars, the different types of races that you've won. I know there's still 2 races left, $10,000 that you want, and a championship to be won. But do you feel like this is the best season of your career so far?
You know, I definitely think it's probably the most consistent season. You know, we've with the last couple that we ran for the championship here and we've won, just seemed like we were getting caught up in little mishaps every now and then, and it seems like we've been getting this car out front pretty early this season and been getting in clean air, and it seems like once we get this thing out in front, we're really good. But this is again, I got to thank Exalta's Finished Masters, Schaefer's Racing Oil, Chaffee College, Pit Boss, and everyone that's behind us on this thing. It was really good tonight.
Buddy Shepard and the Esterman team take another step towards a 3rd career championship with a win tonight in round 7.
A win for Buddy Shepard and extending his points lead. Buddy Shepard leading Blaine Rocha, Glenn Cook, Dylan Zampa, and Ryan Philpott, your top 5. Then Sheldon Cooper, Pete Soto, Jay Juleson, Rick Thompson, and Austin Herzog, your top 10. The balance of the field, Eric Seeley, Joey East, Ross Stramiska, Seth Wise, Lauren Papakoots, Racing Jason Aguirre, and Wyoming's Lance Elliott. Well, another strong podium run, but no victories in 2020 for Blaine Rocha. He's 2nd with Jason Galvin.
Blaine Rocha with a great run tonight here to come home in 2nd place. I know that you're probably frustrated. You want one of those wins so bad, but once again, this 98 car just so consistent and smooth tonight. What was the key?
We had a lot of green flag laps, and that's what these cars really like, and that's what I like a lot too. Have a lot of time to get going and get the car. We always have a good long run speed car. Just Buddy had a little bit on us and kind of made a few mistakes right there off the restart, and just him on the outside kind of gives him a little bit of an advantage. But the car's in one piece, and we can build on that, come back for the short track shootout, and hopefully give Buddy a good run. He's been stout all year long. We've been good too, just haven't really had the finishes that we deserve. But I'm excited to come back, and hopefully we can get a win here. I just thank Marcellus Drilling, Roaches Valley Enterprises, the Straminska family, and everything that everyone does for me throughout the week.
The short track shootout has a penchant for, I don't want to say producing surprise winners, not that it would be a surprise if you won, but certainly for mixing up the season and producing maybe not the most dominant car in the case of a Buddy Shepard or Jeremy Doss as the winner. You come home 2nd tonight. The short track shootout's the next race out. You were really strong in this race. How much confidence does that give you going into the biggest race of the year?
Yeah, I got a lot of confidence. I really like those long races. That's what I'm used to running back from the SRL, just 150 lappers to really get time to get the car going and kind of weeds out all the other guys. But long run speed, that's what we got. But we'll come back and get a little short run speed, and hopefully we'll build battle for the lead.
Blaine Rocha building some momentum up as we head into the short track shootout.
Building up some momentum for the biggest race of the year, and it sounded like Blaine Rocha is really looking forward to that long run in the 150-lap short track shootout. This Nut Up post-race show has produced some exciting moments throughout 2020. This is going to be another one. We've seen him on the podium before, but it's been some time. This is a real satisfying finish for Glenn Cook, standing by with Jason Galvin.
What a great run tonight here for this man in the 98 car. And Glenn Cook, a fantastic finish here. Third place, able to make another move after the break and get up onto the podium. He got out of the car, came up to me and said, I'm the old guy. I still feel a little bit winded, but you'd never be able to tell watching you on the racetrack tonight. How much fun was that?
It was so much fun. I can't even tell you. I don't even know what to say. It's been so long since we've been interviewed. But I got to say thank you to Sean and Tony. They haven't given up all year as bad as we've been. I just don't even know what to say. I'm just...
I can hear the emotion. It's the little team that could out here. 3 people on this car, including yourself. We watch it every week. You're under the car at the halfway breaks, working on yourself, turning the wrenches on this with 2 other crew people. To come out here and you look in front of you, you got Buddy Shepard and Blaine Roach of big teams, race-winning programs. You passed and held off Dylan Zampa, a winner already this year. How much confidence and energy does that give you after the season that you've had?
I don't know about confidence, but drive to keep going and keep trying to figure the car out for a lot.
You get the $10,000 to win short track shootout coming up now. Not a better time for you to have a run like this than the race before the big one.
Yeah, just keep working on the car. I mean, we're going in the right direction now, so hopefully we're going to figure it out. I mean, that was just so much fun to be able to race like that. And like you said, to hold off Zampa for that many laps and just side by side and just battling for it was just fun.
You can hear the emotion and the thrill in his voice. You can almost see the smile through the mask as well. Glenn Cook, a great run tonight to come home on the podium.
Well, and like he said, he's feeling the drive and the motivation to keep going and keep challenging the front of the pack. And Outback Andy, there's no doubt the target is square on the back of Buddy Shepard as the Nut Up short track shootout looms large. Can't wait for that one here on MAV TV.
Yes, that's coming up in a couple of weeks. $10,000 to the winner. It's the biggest payday that we have in our series, the Nut Up Pro Late Models. And, of course, it's another round of the Big 3 series as well. So that will come with extra bonuses as well. What a great night of late model racing here at Madera. On behalf of Kenny Shepard, Quan, all of our great crew, Jason Galvin, my partner in the booth, Stephen Blakesy, I'm Outback Andy. We'll see you back for $10,000 to the winner of the short track shootout coming our way in a couple of weeks on Madera Racing. Okay, I want to thank everybody online, too, for hanging in there. What a great night of racing here. Early finish, too. So for those on the East Coast, we're going to get you to bed nice and early. We'll be about 3 hours early tonight, closing off here at Madera. 8:11 here in Madera right now. Wow. Angela Bondi blowing her horn for Buddy Shepard. Great job. So getting ready to talk to some of our people in here, Sherm Taylor, all the crew. It was a great night of racing here at Madera, and I really want to thank everybody for getting online and joining us online. And we're going to be back next week. We've got the Harvest Classic next Saturday night, and then we return in 2 weeks' time with the $10,000 to win short track shootout for 2020. Once again, I'm Outback Andy, my partners, Stephen Blakesy, Jason Galvin, Quan switching tonight, and Kenny Shepard, who is directing, and, of course, the track promoter. Great night of racing. We'll see you back on Madera Racing real soon.